And this should be a great one tonight, John.
CB West with the bullseye on their back. They are #1 in that very same poll you mentioned, Marty, and also #5 in the USA Today in the past week's edition. So obviously Neshaminy knows they've got their work cut out for them. Head coach Mark Schmidt for the Neshaminy Redskins in his 5th year, 18-23. Last year was a bit of a down year. They were 3-7. Last year at this time against West, they came into the game 1-3, and they got clobbered 42-14. But last year, Marty, they were the victim of a lot of close losses. So they've got some quality guys, and they're back this year, and they're pretty pumped up.
Absolutely. I'm looking certainly for a much closer game than 42-14, as are all the fans that have come out here for Neshaminy on this side. Just an overflow crowd on hand tonight, as the Bucks from CB West are going to be coming out on the field now in their familiar white, brown, and gold uniforms. And this really has an air of a playoff atmosphere tonight, John.
Yeah, a lot of cars trying to get in off the Route 1 to work their way into the parking lot. Last week, Neshaminy and the Neshaminy fans have good reason to be excited. They beat Truman 35-7 at Henry Morgan Stadium. Next week, however, they've got North Penn. Really, this is not a light schedule for the Redskins.
Oh, well, you know, when you're in Suburban 1, every week is a tough one, and certainly if you come through a schedule in Suburban 1 with an outstanding record, you've really earned it. There's the west sideline right across. Of course, so many fans have traveled from Doylestown here to the Neshaminy Stadium tonight. Just a great crowd, and this really, like you said, air of a playoff atmosphere. And certainly, John, this game will go a long way towards determining playoff seeds come November, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, there's 3 unbeaten teams left in the division, and it's CB West, Neshaminy, who we'll see tonight, and North Penn, who has William Tennant tonight as well. So one of these teams obviously will be leaving undefeated. You mentioned the West crowd. Logically, they're probably the most populous road crowd in the league, a lot of people. But coming into the season, Neshaminy was really counting on their defense and some team depth. And what they've added is a phenomenal running game led by a second cousin of Troy Vincent, Chris Vincent, #11 for Neshaminy.
Yes, Chris Vincent, over 600 yards already on the season. He's a 6'1", 190-pound senior. He'll wear #11. We'll see him on the field. He'll be taking the handoffs from the quarterback, #2, Kamal Woodson, who is a transfer from West Philadelphia High School. So we talked to Coach Schmidt before the game, and he told us he wants to shorten the clock tonight, meaning that he wants his offense to be able to have long drives, hold on to the ball for a long time, of course, avoid the turnover, and not allow the West offense on the field so often. Let's go down. Looks like we're going to have the coin toss.
As we mentioned, the Bucks are the visiting team tonight here in Langhorne. Head coach Mike Pettine in his 33rd season since he took over in 1967. They've had a total of 3 state championships at that school since they started to recognize and have the playoff system. An interesting statistic, Marty, of the 32 teams that have finished seasons for Coach Mike Pettine, 15 went undefeated during the regular season.
Well, that's just unbelievable. And, of course, CB West will look for its power game offensively. We've told, of course, Dustin Picciotti, the great fullback, has been battling strep throat all week, but we expect to see him out there. The great quarterback, Mike Oriel, of course, and the powerful offensive line.
We saw Picciotti in the pregame warm-ups a little bit. He looked like he was doing some of the pregame, but maybe not necessarily all of it. Last week, he came in the second half against William Tennant. Had a typical Dustin Picciotti half, 13 carries, 91 yards, and a couple of touchdowns. The problem was he coughed up the ball 3 times.
Well, you know, on the other side, in Neshaminy, like we said, they want to shorten the clock. They want to have a ball control offense behind Chris Vincent and the quarterback Woodson. But Coach Schmidt also told us that Woodson will throw off of play action and occasionally look to throw deep. So certainly the Neshaminy offensive line and defensive lines are outweighed by the West respective offensive and defensive lines. But, you know, Neshaminy's going to rely on quickness, try and avoid the turnovers, and see if they can play 48 minutes of top football tonight.
Well, it's a good thing that the CB West team comes in so loaded because they have been battling issues the last couple of weeks with personnel. My understanding is that Dave Camburn, the electrifying junior, will not be playing tonight. He was responsible for 280 yards of offense last week. So he'll probably be missed. But again, last week they thought that perhaps the quarterback Oriel would be missed. Phil Dejakamo steps in, does an unbelievable job throwing the ball, as well as the running back from last week that stepped in for Dustin Picciotti. That was actually Camburn, and Dejakamo stepped in at quarterback. So this is a deep team, and West will be receiving.
And John, of course, in any close game, kicking is so important. The Neshaminy kicker will be Rob Fryer, and for West tonight, their kicker will be Jim Weiberly.
Okay, actually, Neshaminy set the kick. The kick is relatively deep. It goes back inside the CB West 5-yard line, and the wall gets set up in front of him. He sets up, busts the wall. He busts through. He's definitely deep into West field position, and they make it up to the 40-yard line. That was an unbelievable kick return. That was Phil Dejakamo, the do-it-all CB West offensive threat that returned that kick and started off in grand style for the Bucks.
Tremendous return by Dejakamo. He's a great athlete. We were told that earlier. The kind of guy that could play quarterback, running back, split end, anywhere on the football field. Defensive back, linebacker, a tremendous all-around athlete, and he established it there on that 30-yard kickoff return.
Oriole up top, over top of the center. He does have Pettine as his fullback in the one-back set. It's a tight formation. Motion coming from the wingback, Paulina. The pitch is a short fullback pitch to Pettine. Comes around the right end. He's got some running room and gets upended at about the 45-yard line by Neshaminy's number 24. That was
Ted Kenyon.
I'm sorry, that's Bijak from Neshaminy that upended Pettine at about the 45. They'll have second and about 5 to go.
Good tackle by Bijak, John, but certainly that's what they want to do. You want to get Pettine that 5-6 yards on first down. Allows Oriole to do a lot of things on 2nd and 4.
Liberal substitution for Coach Pettine. Ted Kenyon comes out as well as Phil Dejakamo. 2nd and 5. Neshaminy lines up. Be interesting. This defense is a seasoned defense. They had a great game against Council Rock a couple of weeks ago, stopping Council Rock's 2-point conversion to secure that win. Again, tight formation. Oriole spins around. They give again to Pettine. Gets a great lead block and ends up going down the field. He is inside the 30-yard line. That was Ryan Blomgren coming out for CB West with a key block to spring Pettine.
Great 24-yard run by Pettine, and of course, the tackle made by Nalf saved the touchdown. Let's go over that outstanding. We're going to look at that on the instant replay. The handoff to Pettine, and look at Nalf making the fine tackle there, or else Pettine goes for a touchdown.
Nalf at 175 trying to bring down 240-pound Dustin Pettine. Pettine manages to squirrel a couple extra yards with a nice straight arm.
After this play, John will go over that outstanding West offensive line starting crew.
Well, nothing tricky coming out of West. Again, they're in the tight formation. Oriole does not like what he sees on the field, and he will call a timeout. Timeout is brought to you by Nat's Pizza and Family Ristorante in Doylestown. Since 1976, Nat's has served the best pizza, sandwiches, and Italian specialties to the CB West student body. Stop in, say hi to Nat, Tim, and the gang today. Don't forget to pick up some of their famous hot wings for the next time you're watching the game. That's Nat's Pizza. Also, great Italian ice there, which we all enjoy during the summer.
Oh, outstanding, Nat's Pizza. And we're happy to have them on board here with that Vio Veneto Italian ice. That's a great place, and hopefully by the end of the night, Nats will deliver here out to Neshaminy. Great job, Nats. Well, let's go over that offensive line for West, and some of those boys are weaned on Nats Pizza. You know that. Their offensive line starters are Matt Showalter, number 50, Jeff Mitski, 51, John Baer, 61, Mike Wilkins, 65, Rob Bowser, 68, and Justin Alton, 76. And that's such a great offensive line, John.
It is, and matching up against them certainly is a tall order. As we mentioned, we've got Jason Delp and Joe Mitzkus on the other side of the ball for Neshaminy doing what they can to stop this Pettine, all Pettine attack so far. We've got a real wide split out to the near side. We've got a two-set backfield heading off to the fullback. It's Pettine rumbling forward for about 4 yards. Nothing too fancy here so far, Marty. They're sticking to Pettine.
Typical, you know, at West, but of course Oriole has the ability to step up and throw. And we saw Gavin Potter, like you mentioned, as we look at the West offensive line. He was split out with Potter to the near side, all alone, one-on-one coverage, and you have to think that by the end of the night, maybe one time Pettine or Oriole will stick that ball in Pettine's gut, bring it back out, and fire for Potter deep.
Oriole last year, 16 touchdowns, over 900 yards. Did not play last week due to a back injury, but he is back this week. Apparently feels well enough to play. We've got an eye, Paulina in motion. The give is to the eye back. That's Dejakamo. He hurdles over the first line of wave of tacklers and comes up about 1 or 2 yards short of the first down.
Nice play. Now this is a huge play coming up as the stop was made there by 44, Bijak made that stop for Neshaminy. Number 24, Steve Bijak. Outstanding stop. And now this brings up 3rd and 1. Of course, our first real big play of the evening, John.
9:27 left to go in the Barberland Public One scoreboard. 0-0. This is the opening drive of the game. Oriole over the center, gives the ball to the safe give. It's Pettine.
He got it, but not by much, John.
They softened up the gut. Looks like he was able to manage to fall forward for first down yardage, keeping the drive alive.
Well, Pettine really needed less than a yard. He got about, well, he wound up getting about 2.5 yards. He's so strong, Pettine, that even though it looked like he was stuffed at the line of scrimmage, he still wound up with 2.5 or 3 yards there.
Gutty performance by Pettine, who, as we mentioned, is not feeling that terrifically. I understand he didn't practice this week. Last year, of course, he amounted for about 2,000 yards during the season and over 40 touchdowns. So he is a vital cog to this CB West offense. Has about 350 yards and 12 touchdowns so far this season. Oriole, once again, Paulina in motion. We've got an infraction. Referees stop the game.
Try to snap. Delay of game.
Delay of game.
On the offense. Still one.
They'll set West up in a 1st and 15 situation, but of course when you have Dustin Pettine back there, John, that 1st and 15 doesn't look so awesome, like an awesome a task. You know, it's almost as though we're taking him for granted now. Pettine, we didn't mention him all that much. Maybe some of our fans out there aren't that familiar with him. He's a senior, 6'3", 245 pounds, all muscle. Just had an incredible season a year ago as West went to another state championship and has picked up right where he left off.
Big-time recruit has yet to announce what his college plans are. We've got a two-back set. Once again, motion out of the wingback. That's Blomgren. The give is to, I'm sorry, it's a play-action fake. Nice job in the play-action. Oriole up over top to Blomgren. Great job trying to extend and pull it in, but he could not manage to bring that ball in, Marty. But a great job, Coach Pettine, working off the play-action. They set that up beautifully with the drive, and we had a wide-open Ryan Blomgren who just couldn't bring it in. But a nice job, Oriole. Pretty good-looking pass.
I love the call there. I love the call on 1st and 15. As you said, he puts the ball in Pettine's gut, and you know that 8 men have to go to Pettine on that, and then Oriole makes a great throw, and just a tremendous throw, just coming up short, and I'm sure next time that ball probably will connect, but a great throw by Oriole.
Well, let's connect with Bonnie Bleminger on the sideline right now. Bonnie, what do you got for us?
Well, guys, as you're looking across the sideline behind me, you can see the legend at CB West, Coach Mike Pettine Sr., been there since 1962, 32 years as the head coach. He's got a total record of 3-15, 42, and 4. He's coached 16 squads to an undefeated season. He's the only coach in PIAA history, 4A that is, to have 3 teams, 3 state titles. He's also personal friends with Joe Paterno. They're good friends. He's down to visit them quite often at CB West. I'm just wondering if someday soon we might see Coach Pettine wearing those short flood pants and old school Nike sneakers. What do you think, guys?
Thanks a lot, Bonnie. That brings up 3rd down and 11 on that attempted draw play by the Bucks. Again, we've got a wide open slot to the near side. Oriole up under quarterback. We've got a shift strong side to the near side. 2 backs in the backfield. Oriole drops back, does a half roll and can't find Blomgren coming under in the underneath, but pressured by number 1 out of Neshaminy, who does a great job.
Yes, Nick Farnsworth with the great pressure on Oriole. But you know, John, I was going to say, after all these years of looking at us on the sideline and in the booth, it is certainly a pleasure to see Bonnie Bleminger down there on the sideline, somebody beautiful for a change, instead of looking at our ugly mug.
And
but, you know, that was a great pass rush there by Nick Farnsworth. 5'9" inches, 170 pounds. There's Coach Pettine on the sideline.
Farnsworth comes over from Glen Mills. Thanks a lot to Ventrescas. I'm sure Len's happy about the new addition to the sideline crew and Bonnie Bleminger. We'll get to that in a second. We've got a shift to the near side again by the Bucks. Oriole trips, stumbles out of the backfield, hangs on to the ball, but that was their attempt.
Let's give credit there to number 80, Brittingham, and number 50, Cruzen on the sack. Just a great defensive play, pressure there by Neshaminy, and that's a huge series of downs. We watched the replay. Oriole actually trips over his own man, but there's 80 right there, Brittingham, ready to clean up. That's a huge series of downs defensively for Neshaminy, John. Now let's see what they can do on offense.
Good stand by the Neshaminy defense. Coming out over top, this is their first shot. We've got 7:53 left in the Barb 1 carpet scoreboard. Woodson, as we mentioned, from West Philadelphia, lines up behind the center, takes the snap, gives to the I-back, who is Vincent. He's brought down immediately in the backfield by number 44, Paulina, for the Bucks. Great job with immediate penetration in the offensive backfield.
Absolutely, and let's take a look at that Neshaminy starting offensive line. Number 53 is Mike Knapp. Number 58 is Jason Delp. 59 is Joe Mitzkis. 60 is Brian Schaubhut. 66 is Bill Little, and 67 is Nick Fezco.
We'll get a chance to talk about Ventrescas a little bit later. They are sponsoring the sideline report and do a great job, as they always do. Thanks a lot to Ventrescas, located in the heart of Doylestown, for all your men's clothing needs.
Just an outstanding store, Ventrescas. You can really look good when you're at Ventresca.
Woodson in the slot eye to the right, takes the snap, and the play is busted already. Looks like Neshaminy got a little excited and might have jumped early.
Dead ball. Delay of game.
Well, we saw
On the offense. Still 2.
It's a quick clock tonight, Marty. I thought it was a jump, and we've seen 2 delay games already.
Yeah. When West came up in the 1st and 15, they went for the play action, a beautiful call. And now Coach Schmidt talking to his quarterback, Kamal Woodson, the transfer from West Philly, the Speed Boys, and he's a Redskin now all the way. And now they're in a situation, a 2nd and long situation. Call it 2nd and 16. We know Woodson can scramble and certainly will look to, but you know, Neshaminy needs to eat up the clock and make those first downs to keep that West offense off the field.
Vincent last week, 3 touchdowns, 176 yards. A little shifting of their own for the Redskins into the slot right eye. Woodson against the 5-man front. Once again, the whistle's blown. Flag is thrown by the back judge. Looks like it could potentially be a delay game.
Yeah, that's usually that official who makes that call.
Who calibrated the watches tonight?
Dead ball. Delay of game.
The referee can't believe it. He's shaking his head as he's making the call.
Well, you know, these guys, that's that back judge who makes that call. He has the stopwatch on them, so you know, they're going to have to get those plays in quicker. They don't want to get any more of those delayed games.
Neshaminy not helping their cause. Brings up a 2nd and super long. Looks like about 2nd and 20. 7:08 on the Barblin Carpet 1 scoreboard. Redskins are back deep.
One of the men he'll look to pass to tonight will be 21 Tyrone Day.
Once again, shifting into the slot right eye. Woodson take the snap and again to the eye back. Vincent around the right end. Looks like he's got a little bit of running room. Makes it into the secondary. Peeking up around the first start. Down yardage. Number 24 brings him down through the Bucks.
Beautiful run by Vincent. He picks up around 16 or 17 yards, and that's going to put the Redskins in very good position. 3rd and call it about 6, maybe a long 5. But that's a great run. Good offensive line work, and we've been told this Vincent can motor, and he showed it that time, turning around the right side.
Ted Kenyon making the stop for the Bucks, as we mentioned. Vincent with 176 yards and 3 touchdowns the week before. 170, 25 carries and 2 TDs against a very stingy Council Rock defense. Once again, the slot right eye. Woodson working against a 5-man front. Takes a snap, give to the eye back once again. There's Vincent trying to pick a hole and move it upfield, and he's not able to do that. He's slammed backwards by Bob Bowser, number 68 for the Bucks, playing D-line.
That's a big stop by the West defensive line. Certainly you said that Chris Vincent is Troy's cousin, huh?
Second cousin of Troy Vincent. Troy Vincent went to school at Pennsbury.
Hand off to Vincent, and he really doesn't have room to roll there. He can't find an opening. Outstanding tackle that time by 68 Rob Bowser, the big 6'2", 250-pound buck.
Well, the Redskins are forced to punt. They're punting away to Dejakamo. Set up nice for a return. This Kenyon grabs the ball and returns it for about 2 yards. Nice job on the special teams by the Redskins, number 32.
Great tackle by Ciani. Tremendous tackle on special teams by Ciani, number 32 for the Skins. 5'7", 145 as we see 75 Barger leaving the field for Neshaminy.
Bucks now work out of their own territory. At the 30, 6:13 left on the Barblin Carpet 1 scoreboard, 0-0 tie. So far they've exchanged possessions.
West, of course, driving deep, but Neshaminy coming up big on defense there and holding on downs.
Cars still filing into the parking lot. West lines up in a tight flank right. We've got 2 backs in the backfield. Turn around. The give is to Pachotti. This time they're onto him. He only manages about a half a yard.
Now, John, if Neshaminy's defense can do that all night long, this is going to be a football game right down to the wire. That is tremendous. You know, the first couple times Pachotti got the ball, he got big yardage, as he's wont to do. But now Neshaminy has risen up and stuck him real hard as we look at the Neshaminy sidelines there with Coach Schmidt and his assistants. And he's got to be excited with the way they're sticking Pachotti right now.
He's excited with his middle linebacker, Bill Crompton. Second-year starter is back, doing a nice job helping clog up the middle. Blomgren in motion. The pitch is to the running back, Dejakamo, who manages to skip outside, pulls it up inside, is brought down by number 1 for the Neshaminy Redskins. That's Farnsworth again with the tackle, the Glenn Mills transfer, and a nice pickup there for the Bucks.
Well, Nick Farnsworth's having to make too many tackles deep in the secondary, but, you know, Dejakamo, this is an exciting young player. A junior. We look at him in replay, the flip from Oriel. Dejakamo squares those shoulders up, and he's ready to roll. Great open field running there, good blocking, but he breaks a couple tackles, drags the man for another couple of yards.
Matt Carey, the tight end number 7, was looking for a star on the helmet, hoping that Dejakamo was going to break it. Oriole with the handoff back into Dejakamo, bounces outside after he couldn't find anything, and he's still working his way down the sideline. Amazing. Slippery job up to the 8-yard line.
Well, that's as good a run as you'll see a man make. Dejakamo slipped the attempted tackle of Joe Mitzkis, the sure-handed Mitzkis. Dejakamo bounces it outside and picks up another 5 or 6 yards.
Yeah, it looks like a nice gain. I think
5 or 6 yard run as you'll see.
I think I said he made it to the 8-yard line. I meant he made almost 8 yards, but it looks like it's about six yards or so for
okay.
Dejakamo, an exciting player.
Oh, that was a great run. You know,
well, here you go. In the beginning of the game, it's Pettine, and now they're running Dejakamo.
This team has so much depth, so much talent.
We have yet to see Dave Camburn on the field. Again, a tight formation. Everyone inside. The Neshaminy defense all within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage, and Pettine can't get anywhere. We'll bring up third and about 4 yards.
Well, certainly that's a big play, and just like that, a big play from Montgomeryville Motorcycles. Also, they're having a great season. This portion of our game is brought to you in part by Montgomeryville Cycle Center, who will be moving to nearby Hatfield, PA this weekend. That's a really exciting thing that happened. So Montgomeryville Cycle, look for them to move to Hatfield just as we speak. Great motorcycle place, all your needs. Montgomeryville Cycle, now in Hatfield.
Pettine deep in the eye, Paulina with motion to the left. The pitch is to Pettine, that short fullback pitch. Works down the left side and is able to rumble forward for first down yardage right behind the block of number 24, Ted Kenyon.
Great running by Pettine, of course, the good offensive line play. It's tough to stop that man 2 times in a row, John. You'll notice they might stuff him once, but 2 times in a row is very difficult. Wait.
Looks like Farnsworth is down on the field, Marty. Referees call time.
Right, we have a Neshaminy man down.
That's Nick Farnsworth, number 1. He's been making it too many stops, and apparently he's a little injured, and at this point we'll take an opportunity to go down to the sideline, brought to you by Ventresca's. Bonnie, what do you got for us?
Hey guys, well, coming into this game, one thing Neshaminy could count on, a solid tool, was their defense. With guys like Joe Mitzkis coming back, Nick Farnsworth, Tim Cruzen. These guys have been pumping irons all summer. They are 500-pound squatters, 260-pound on the bench. These guys are big guys. There was a quote by one of their linebackers, Jason Delps, who said earlier this year, you know what, if we can play our football, skins football, we can win this thing. On the field right now, it looks like they're doing exactly that.
Thanks a lot, Bonnie. Great sideline report brought to you by Ventresca's full-service men's store, who can serve you in 4 different ways: custom-made clothing, formal wear, rental and sales, ready-made clothing, and alterations on your new and existing clothing. Thanks to Ventresca's, located at 145 West State Street in Doylestown, your full-service men's store, where custom clothing is made right in their shop, Marty. They don't send it out. They do it right there. Custom suits, sport coats, shirts, and slacks. 25 to 30 hours to go into the construction of each and every suit that they build. Tremendous. Choose from bolts of cloth hung right in the display in the showroom, Marty. Pick out your suit and have it make it right there. And we're looking at Farnsworth. Looks like he's favoring his left ankle a little bit as he's coming off the field, although he is under his own power.
And we look at the Skins helmet. Nick Farnsworth had an outstanding opening quarter tonight on defense, just playing tremendous. And hopefully he'll be out there before long, back on the defensive side as we look at our Barblin Carpet 1 scoreboard showing 0-0 West and Neshaminy.
Once again, Pettine is the back. Motion by Blomgren. Oriole takes the snap, looks like a pass play. They're trying to flood the zone. He barely gets it off. Great catch, one-handed, brought in by Phil Dejakamo. He's keeping the drive alive on the 1st and 10. Looks like a pickup of about 3 yards or so, maybe 4 yards. Nice job. Oriole under hot pursuit by the Redskins, and Dejakamo looked that ball right in and managed to grab it with his left hand and pulled it down.
Yes, Jason Delp, number 58, put the great pass rush on. Like I say, Oriole slipped it and makes the nice play. Dejakamo, this is a do-everything all-around kind of guy. It sort of, reminds you of an old West guy who played for the Dolphins, Jim Jensen.
Nick Daly,
the kind of player he is.
Number 60, Nick Daly checking out for the Bucks. Number 65, Mike Wilkins checking in. 2 setbacks in the backfield to give us to Pettine off the left-hand side. Looks like he is knocking at the door of first down territory. Might be a little bit short.
You remember Jim Jensen played for West, of course, played for the Miami Dolphins?
Yes, I do.
Dejakamo is that kind of player. He can go outside, inside. He can do it all.
If Dejakamo was 6'4", I'm sure he'd be excited about that. He stands at about 6 feet tall.
All right, so now we're going to have, it looks like, a measurement situation coming up.
Third down looks like less than a yard. You're getting a shot of the Redskins cheerleaders trying to pump up this hometown crowd who is excited.
Yeah, John, you know what? I don't think there's an open seat in this whole place tonight on either side. I mean, look over at that west sideline. They're packed just packed to the gills, and on this side, the Neshaminy side, there's not a seat to be had.
3 minutes and 15 seconds left to go in the first quarter as the Bucks measure up about a foot short. Barblin Carpet One scoreboard showing the scoreless tie of these two unbeatens, both coming into the game at 4-0.
Well, John, of course, on this 3rd and short, we could always look to see possible play action, you know, like he did the last time where he had the man open, Oriel, but you got to think that Pettine will get the call this time on 3rd and short. Nothing fancy. Get the first down and keep those chains moving.
Coach Pettine does have the Neshaminy Redskins really uptight on defense. Could be an opportunity for them to spring one over top. Although, like you said, there's a much better chance perhaps that we'll see Pettine up the middle. This is a scoreless game, and I'm sure Coach Pettine wants to leave the first quarter with a couple of points.
Neshaminy's pinching that defense in tight.
6 down linemen up front. Corners are in tight. The safety's standing at about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
You got 22 men lined up within about 6 yards of each other here.
Well, everyone knows where, or everyone thinks they know where it's going. Lined up in the tight formation. Pettine looking to find his hole, keeps the legs moving. Great leg drive. Looks like he might have been able to push forward.
He's got it on the forward progress, but not by much. Outstanding work by that Neshaminy defensive line. We're looking number 80, of course, Brittingham. 34 is out there. Brittingham brothers. They're both playing good football on defense.
Nice job by Neshaminy, although they kind of knew within the 6-foot range of where it was coming. How about that firing off the ball by the West offensive line? They did a nice job knowing that Neshaminy knew exactly where the ball was going. They managed to get just what they needed to get.
He's money in the bank, Pettine.
1st and 10. Blomgren and Pettine again. This time again on the play action pass to Dejakamo. Sneaks behind the secondary. The Oriole chooses to go to the middle receiver, and looks like it's just shy of the first down. That's number 24, Ted Kenyon, catching the ball right there.
That's a beautiful play. You know, CB West, of course, dominant on the ground, but Oriole, such an outstanding passer. And he makes the nice play-action fake, rolls to his left, makes that throw to Ted Kenyon, number 24, on the reception. Just an outstanding play. That's a tough pass, you know, rolling to his left and throwing back across the grain.
It's an impossible pass as we look at the West coaching staff. That's Mike Carey in the yellow shirt. Coach Pettine with the hat on to his right. The viewer's left, actually, as you're watching the screen. We've got a slot to the near side. Single setback is Pettine. Brian Blomgren in motion from the wing, making it a trips formation. Blomgren rolls out, looks like a quarterback keeper, and he's going to run behind a great block by Blomgren. Almost gets another one to spring him into the end zone by Bowser. Ends up about 2 yards short, but that was a well-designed play.
Beautiful.
That was Oriole on the keeper.
Beautiful play by Oriole. He got it open, and of course, like you say, Blomgren with a nice block. Pettine with a fine open field block. We'll take a look at it on replay here as Oriole goes to our near sideline on our outstanding TSM replay board. Great block there by Pettine in the open field. And on the near side, that was...
I think that might have been Ted Kenyon, the split out.
24, just received the previous pass. Thank you, John.
Dustin Pettine again, the single back. Everyone packed in tight. The give is to Pettine. He's got some running room right there. Runs it off the guard and into the end zone for his 13th touchdown of the season with 1:21 left to go here in the first quarter.
We'll score a great deal on a new VW, Porsche, or Audi from Holbert Motor Cars on Route 611 in Warrington. Since 1954, the Holbert family has been providing the kind of personalized attention that you'd expect to receive from family. Stop in today and tell them that Dustin Pettine's 2-yard touchdown bolt sent you to Holbert.
Dejakamo with the hold. He, as we said, played quarterback last week. The kick is up and it's good. That is number 11, Bob Tumulty, handling the extra point duties for the Bucks, and that caps off the touchdown. Now the West Bucks are up 7-0 over the Neshaminy Redskins.
Well, that drive, you can thank Oriole with a couple of beautiful play-action passes, completed those passes, and of course Pettine with the big gain on 4th and short, and then, or actually it was 3rd and short, and then certainly the big touchdown run. And it's just so much talent on this West team. Very tough to keep them down for long.
They were showing off a little Phil Dejakamo on that drive as well, who managed to keep the drive going. But that was a long time consuming drive for the Bucks. Milked the clock a lot. Neshaminy will get the ball back with about 1:20 left to go in the first quarter. and Mark Schmidt trying to rally his troops. They needed an electrifying kick return or something to jumpstart this team, because at this point, West has really been dominant.
John, you know who's such an impressive player is Mike Uriel. He just continues to play well every week. Last year we saw him in that championship drive, and he gets better and better. He's got a great arm. He's able to really play fake very nicely. He rolls left or right with equal aplomb, and he just has a real sweet arm, very accurate arm, and he can run the ball, as we saw on that drive. And Uriel, he's just a tremendous quarterback to have on your football team.
He'll be back next year. He is a junior. Tumulty set to kick.
Well, last week we saw the East quarterback, sophomore. He was very impressive.
Felicetti.
Yes.
Brittingham and Vincent are back to receive the kick, and looks like they're going in the direction of Vincent, although it's quite short. Fair catch, ball's loose. Looks like it was recovered by the Redskins on about their 23-yard line by one of the linemen. We'll take a look to see who jumps off the pile.
Neshaminy's got it.
Neshaminy keeps the ball, but that was a fair catch that was signaled by number 80 for Neshaminy.
Yes, of course you can call for a fair catch on a kickoff. And it was a high short kick. You know, that's a tough one to field. They called for the fair catch. Let's see the replay on that one. It's a high short boot, and here we see the fumble. And going for that fumble, you see a lot of the Neshaminy players around there, and I believe it was 7 now who wound up with the football.
Chris Vincent around the action there, as well as number 15 for the Bucks. That's Mark Roth on the special teams. Neshaminy gets that over the ball in the slot left eye. CB West coverage setting up. They're all within about 8 yards of the ball. This is smash mouth football. I think everyone's thinking the ball's going to be on the ground. Woodson with the count gives the ball to the up back, the single back, and that was Bill Compton, who last week rattled off a 15-yard touchdown, and he's a spiritual leader for this Neshaminy team. It would be interesting if they could get him into the swing of the game.
Very interesting to see that time, John, but Chris Vincent was lined up as a wide receiver to the near side. They had 2 men split out to the left, and that's something we can look for later. You know, you kind of player Vincent, he's great in the open field. If you can get him on maybe a 6-7 yard hitch pattern, as Coach Schmidt would like to do right there, he can go all the way if he gets out in a 1-on-1 situation in the open field. He's split out again this time.
Not only does he have speed, but he has size at 6'1", 190, so he's a welcome target for Woodson, I'm sure. Woodson drops the ball. It's on the ground. Looks like he was able to recover it by himself, but that will bring up 3rd and 9.
Well, Ciani also split out to the near side 32 along with Vincent, and we're going to look certainly for either Ciani or Vincent to grab a ball later on from Woodson. You know, he's going to look to those guys, I think, certainly to get them in the open field.
Bijak checking out. Crompton checking back in.
Well, that might have been the last play of the quarter, John.
Looks like they're not going to have time to get the playoff as it goes 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and that should signal the end of the first quarter, where the Barblin Carpet 1 scoreboard reads Central Bucks West 7 as the visiting team, Neshaminy 0, and we will be back with more exciting Suburban 1 League action on TSM Sports soon. Stay tuned.
Hey, nothing like a really good newspaper, but if you're still using one of these to find a job, then maybe you're not being too serious about your career. Yeah, sure, some of those national virtual job sites are fine if you're looking to relocate to, say, Fargo, North Dakota. But if you're looking for local jobs, local companies, then check out jobnet.com/radius. It's a local thing, jobnet.com/radius. It's your career. Make it happen.
That was interesting.
The all-new Volkswagen Jetta. Sometimes everything just comes together.
Welcome back to TSM Sports coverage of Suburban 1 League football, and I believe we've got a report from Bonnie Blemiger on the sideline, brought to you by Ventresca's Menswear. Bonnie?
Well, guys, I have a very special guest alongside of me, the assistant principal at Central Bucks West, Mr. Keith Kenyon. Talk about the great pride and tradition you have at CB West.
CB West has a long tradition of excellence, not only in athletics, but in a lot of different areas at school. Academics, music, and everything. Tonight we happen to be celebrating athletics. We better move here.
We're getting bumped around on here, guys. We'll send it back to you for now.
Thanks a lot, Bonnie. Great report, and we've got Neshaminy working with the ball at about their own 22-yard line. That's Woodson with some play action in the backfield. He pulls up, rolling to the left, and he is in hot pursuit is Brian Callahan, who gets the first hand on him. It looks like maybe Bowser finishes up on the quarterback, Woodson, who goes down with a sack, loss of about 6-7 yards.
Like you say, 84, Brian Callahan was all over him, and then wrapped up by Blauser on the sack. Blauser certainly combining with Callahan on that sack. That's going to set up a punting situation.
Callahan coming into the season as one of the more feared pass rushers, and Neshaminy will be punting. That sideline report was brought to you by Ventresca's full-service men's store located at 145 West State Street in Doylestown. The punt is off, and it looks like it's going to come short and bounce. Looks like West's going to leave it alone, although it almost hits a West player's foot. And Neshaminy is going to down it at about the CB West 42-yard line. Back to Ventresca's custom-made suits in sizes 40 to 52 regular are all in stock. So are silk and cotton casual shirts with dozens of colors and styles to choose from. Don't miss the outstanding sweaters, ties, socks, belts, and suspenders to complement your man's wardrobe. That's Ventresca's full-service men's store located in Doylestown.
Well, John, I know Ventresca does such a great job in dressing you for our ball games tonight. And every night. That was a nice punt, a 38-yarder it wound up, and now West starts at their own 42-yard line.
Now it's me, Kevin. Certainly this field position looks good to the West coaching staff. Once again, lined up. We've got motion out of Blomgren coming from the wing spot. Oriel spins around and gives the ball to Pettine, who shakes the first tackler in the backfield. That's number 88 of Neshaminy. He's still on his feet, pulling his way forward. Geez, if he's got strep throat, I want to find out where they can get me some. He does a nice job. Finally, he roped in by about 4 or 5 different Redskins.
Well, Matt Cariola on the tackle along with Steve Bajak, and they really held on. I tell you, Cariola, give him credit. He held on for a few yards there, like a bucking bronco was Pettine.
You see him there right there. Quick work of Bernadowitz in the backfield, number 88 playing D-end, and he muscles his way forward. We've got a timeout called by the Neshaminy Redskins. Timeout once again is brought to you by Nat's Pizza and Family Restaurant in Doylestown. Since 1976, Nat's has served the best pizza, sandwiches, and Italian specialties. Marty, I've had all of them.
Oh, yeah.
And the CB West student body who eats that stuff up like crazy. They're located actually right across the street from Ventresca's. You go down there, you want to get a suit, you stop in for lunch. It's a good time. Stop by, say hello to Nat, Tim. Don't forget also to try that refreshing Italian ice that we mentioned.
Oh, Via Veneta. Oh, it's excellent. I mean, what more can you want? You go to Ventresca's, get something like you get a suit, get a nice tie, go across the street for Nat's, get a pie, a Roni pie maybe. Then you have a little Via Veneto for dessert. In fact, right now on that west sideline, they might be ordering up a Nat's Pizza right now.
Well, it sounds like a great way to spend an afternoon. You get taken care of by Len and his outstanding staff at Ventresca's, and then shoot right across the street. I can't find a problem with that plan at all, Marty.
Fantastic. In fact, we're waiting for Nats to send one up here tonight.
10:45 left to go on the Barb Lynn Carpet 1 scoreboard. Neshaminy had called timeout. They're going to try to regroup in this 2nd and 4 situation. We just saw a beautiful run by Dustin Pettine, shaking off a lot of tacklers despite his illness.
Well, certainly, yes. You can say Pettine with strep throat all week, and he's running like a house of fire. This is a big defensive stand here for Neshaminy. They really need to hold West without a touchdown on this set.
Slot right eye for Oriel working against a 6-man front. As play action pass, he's going for Kenyon deep. He unloads, stretching out the defense. He's got his man open. Beautiful catch by Kenyon. I believe he brought it in at about the 16-yard line. No, referee signal he was out of bounds, but I'll tell you what, he did an outstanding athletic job bringing that ball in down the sideline.
Oh, like you say, just a great throw by Oriel, and another great catch by Ted Kenyon, just out of bounds on that one, but that's something that West certainly will come back to later.
Must certainly have been just out of bounds. That's a 6-man front, as we mentioned.
Take a look at it as Oriel rolls right. He's just such a great passer on the run, and you notice that ball's in the air a good 30, 35 yards, right on the money to Kenyon. Good defensive pass. Look at that, just a tremendous, just out of bounds. Good pass coverage by Siminak, the 5'9", 160-pound senior cornerback, number 23. for Neshaminy.
Shumanik doing a nice job back there on defensive coverage. You noticed during that replay, the great job down in the truck by the guys, but you noticed that Oria was getting slammed in the shoulder at the same time. And we're going to check out Bonnie back down on the sideline. Once again, brought to you by Ventresca's. Bonnie?
Hey there again, guys. Wow, we almost experienced what it's like to be on the field between the pads.
I'm glad we didn't get hurt.
Again, I'm talking to the assistant principal at CBWest, Keith Kenyon. More importantly than just being the assistant principal, which is incredible enough in its own right, you're, to you more importantly, the father of Ted Kenyon, the guy we just saw make that, unfortunately for him, out-of-bounds pass over there. You must be completely excited and proud watching him.
I'm very proud of Ted. He worked really hard to get where he is now, as did all the boys on the team. These kids are dedicated in what they do, and they show it on the field every Friday night.
You said earlier how it's pretty neat to watch these guys. You've seen them since they were friends with your son grow up as little kids.
Yeah, they've matured. They've become a team. They're really fun to watch.
Let's get back to action.
Very timely reporting by Bonnie. Phil Dejakamo down the sideline. Looks like he managed to straight arm his way right into the back of the end zone. Falls down in exhaustion. And after being pushed down, that was an amazing run. That was over 50 yards. That was a great run by Phil Dejakamo out of the backfield, Marty.
I'm sorry, you're right. It was a 52-yard touchdown run by Dejakamo. Just an outstanding touchdown run by
That was Phil Dejakamo on the run. Outstanding effort.
Phil Dejakamo scores that one and score a great deal on a new VW, Porsche, or Audi from Holbert Motor Cars on Route 611 in Warrington. Since 1954, the Holbert family has been providing the kind of personalized attention that you'd expect to receive from family. Stop in today and tell them Phil Dejakamo won that fantastic 52-yard touchdown scamper sent you to Holbert.
Bob Tumulty with the icing on the cake makes it 14-0 on the Barbell and Carpet One scoreboard with 10:26 remaining to the half. Great job. Bonnie had some timely reporting with Ted Kenyon's father right after the pass missed his outstretched arms. The Bucks came right back with a draw play. Looked like as Oria was going to the line, he was warming his arm up like he was going to unload another one. They set him up big time for it. Give the ball in the hands of Dejakamo, who looks like he might have gotten tangled up a little bit at the line of scrimmage, but as Bonnie was talking to Mr. Kenyon, he managed to snake his way down the near sideline and then explode into the end zone. I mean, that is the sign of a running back who wants to hit pay dirt.
We have been told about Phil Dejakamo. It's the first time I've seen him, first time I've seen West this year, that this was an outstanding athlete, and he has just done that, proven that, and more in the first 14 minutes of football tonight. I mean, a 52-yard touchdown run against an outstanding defense as we look at some of the great Neshaminy cheerleading crew. And now, John, this is going to be tough time here. Neshaminy really has to regroup and get to put together a nice offensive march here, and hopefully, for their sake, they need to put at least 3 points on the board. Certainly, if they could go in and make it 14-3, there's still well over 10 minutes left in the half. But Neshaminy needs to at least get some yardage on this drive. They don't want to just go 3 and out.
CB West starting to build some momentum. Last week, Phil Dejakamo also passed 11 times. 9 of them were completed, 157 yards, had 2 touchdowns, which gave him 5 coming into tonight. That was his 6th touchdown of the season, and you know that Dustin Pachotti's got 13. That's a heck of a lot of scoring. Bob Tumulty is set for the kick.
Look for that short kick again. It looks like they're going to kick that short high one again.
About 5 or 6 steps to the ball. Looks like they're trying to keep it out of the hands of Vincent, and it is number 24 from Neshaminy. Dejak gets the ball and works his way across the 35-yard line of Neshaminy. He's brought down by a host of CB West tacklers, including number 20. I believe that's Andrew Elsing. Nice job on the coverage, and nice special teams so far by both teams. Both extra points were made, and the kicking duties have been handled cleanly so far. Sometimes special teams can make such a huge impact to the outcome of the game.
Steve Bajak with a nice return that time. Sets the Redskins up in real good field position, the best field position they've had all night at their own 38. And now this is a big time for Kamal Woodson, the senior QB, 5'9", 160, number 2. We think that sooner or later, Woodson's going to start to throw the ball a little bit further downfield, I think. He's got his split end on this side. That's Brittingham, 34 in motion.
Pro single back set. Brittingham in motion towards the formation. The hand is off is to Brittingham, who does a pass down to number 4. It's completed. Nice job and nice execution there over the Bucks secondary, over Ted Kenyon, I believe.
Oh, that was beautiful to Gallagher, number 4 on the reception. Ryan Gallagher brings that in, but that is just such a tremendous play there. A great call. Brittingham, the left-hander, going out to his left, takes the handoff, and then fires to Brittingham, just a tremendous, or fires to Gallagher, excuse me, a great catch. That's a beautiful call right there.
Sure, that was either Frank Golden rather, or Ted Kenyon on the stop for the Bucks. But are you sure that Coach Schmidt was chomping at the bit to dust that one out of the playbook for tonight? And it was successful. And they move across midfield once again, a pro set, this time in the eye. Woodson with the give to the eye back. Looks like a gain of about 1 yard. Most likely that was Chris Vincent.
John, I love that call because, you know, when you're trying to spring an upset, you've got to do some unorthodox things, and that's just a beautiful play. And obviously, Brittingham with a real nice arm. I mean, he threw that ball on a line, and Gallagher makes the good catch, but Brittingham goes in motion from right to left, and that's just a play that's drawn up beautifully and executed perfectly.
Well executed by Neshaminy on that last give. It was actually Steve Bijak on the carry. 9:42 left to go. Second quarter action. Split to the near side is Siani, the wideout. In a pro set, we've got a single setback. Again, that's Bijak. And we haven't seen Troy Vincent. This is Woodson on the option. It manages to get it out to Bijak, who's quickly swallowed up by Andrew Elsing. And that looks like Ryan Blomgren down on the sideline for the Bucks.
And give credit to Brian Callahan, who forced Woodson. Here we'll say it. Callahan forces Woodson into firing a little before he wanted to. You see 84 Callahan gets it out. Did a good job getting the ball out to Bijak, and then the nice tackle by Ryan Blomgren.
Yeah, that was a very athletic maneuver there by Woodson, who's able to get rid of the ball all the while in the grasp of Callahan.
2nd and 11 now. I would look to see Woodson on maybe some kind of play fake and maybe a pass run option.
Blomgren can hit 6'1", 195, lowering the boom on that play. On the option play, Woodson gives to the eye back. Once again, that's Bijak working his way through the linebacking crew of CB West. Manages to get about 4 or 5 yards, is brought down by, I believe, a linebacker for the Bucks. Actually, that's number 50 for the Bucks. That is Jeff Mitski, who also double duty as center.
Nice tackle by Mitski, but that's a nice hole opened up by the Neshaminy offensive front, and Mitski gets a nice gain out of that. It looks like now Neshaminy really changes up. They have number 7 in there. Well, it's 3rd down, and they're in deep formation. I'm not sure what's going on here.
The flag is showing 3rd down. The scoreboard is showing 4th down. They are in a punt formation. So it looks like they're going to punt the ball away.
I thought it was 3rd down. It says 3rd on the other side.
The flag says 3rd. It looks like it's probably 4th down. Kenyon having a little problem getting his footing. Does manage to reel the ball in and works his way. Nice blocking on the sideline there, and Kenyon's got himself a running lane. He's got only the punter to beat. He does a nice job cutting back, losing both guys in his wake. Nice stutter step, brings it back, and finally it is brought down by Neshaminy inside of the Neshaminy 35-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle, but a great return, and great job by the CB West special teams with a wall right return.
Wow, that was 75 Barger on the TD-saving tackle. But what a great return by Kenyon. He dropped the ball in his own 10, and sometimes that'll set up a big return. Here, we'll look at it here. Kenyon picks it up and looks to his right, and just a great run. Tremendous blocking by West. Cuts it back here. Just look gorgeous. Cut across the grain there. Give credit to the Neshaminy men. They never gave up hope. And there's big number 75, Barger, who makes the open field tackle to save the TD.
Unbelievable quick feet work there by Kenyon, and we've got the Bucks back with 2 setbacks. Blomgren on the wing in motion, leading the block for Pettine, who tries to hop out of the way of the Neshaminy cornerback, who looks like he's given up about 70 pounds. That's number 23.
Zamanek. That is just a textbook tackle by Zamanek there, John. I mean, he's got Pettine, who, like you say, outweighs him by about 75, 85 pounds coming at him, and the only way he's going to stop him is by a leg tackle, and he went for the legs and made a great tackle.
Yeah, he hopped up like it didn't bother him. Something tells me he might have a bit of a headache. This time Pettine lines up as the fullback. We've got a wing left eye. Blomgren once again in motion. The Bucks have been using the wing motion all night tonight to key off of, and that's Dejakamo trying to spin out, picks up a couple yards off the left end.
Dejakamo, a tough man to stop. I mean, even when he stopped close to the line of scrimmage, he still winds up with 4 or 5 yards.
Brings up a 3rd down and 5 with 7 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Barblin Carpet One scoreboard showing the score 14-0 in favor of the visiting Central Bucks West team, who comes in here, as we said, with a 34-game win streak.
Now the Neshaminy sideline a little pensive now. They know that their defense has to step up here.
They're back on their heels. The Bucks would like nothing better than to punch another score in before the end of the half. Neshaminy lines up real tight again, Marty. The single setback, Dejakamo in motion working from left to right. The give is to Pettine, the fullback, who manages to get by the first wave of defenders and works his way up to the first down marker.
He got the first down, an outstanding tackle on the play by Brittingham, number 80. You notice that the Neshaminy tacklers, they're good tacklers. They're going for the legs, especially with Pettine running. You're not going to arm tackle him or really wrap him up, but they're making good tackles. But that time it was 6 yards downfield, as we so often see with Pettine. Gets up ahead of steam, and he's got 5, 6, 7 yards before you know it.
Nice camera shot of a relatively subdued CB West crowd who looks like they're all too used to Pettine rolling off the up the middle for a bunch of yards. Oriole over to the center, Polina in motion.
Look for the pass, look for the pass.
Trips right. This time Oriole's going to keep it. I don't know if it's out of necessity or if that was a design play, but he ends up getting sacked.
Great tackle by Matt Cariola, number 20, 5'7", 150-pound senior. Great stop by Cariola. It looked like Oriole, he had 2 men to the far side, split away, and I think that was certainly a pass. Here it is. He's rolling out. He's looking to pass all the way there. Great play by Cariola, number 20, on the big sack of Oriole.
Spins Oriole down. This Neshaminy defense certainly is earning their salary tonight, as they have been on the field for probably 70% of the plays tonight, and they've got to be getting winded. It is a beautiful October autumn night. This time Oriole out over the near side. It's a twins left situation. He's got Kenyon open, and looks like he picked up about 4 or 5 yards.
That previous hit, that big hit made on the previous play, is brought to you by the body shop at Holbert Motor Cars on Route 611 in Warrington. From a minor ding to major body work, the body shop at Holbert's can get any make or model back in the lineup fast, just like that big hit on Mike Oriole by the Neshaminy defense.
Instant replay showing Oriole in a full sprint out to the near side. Nice job catching the ball and making sure he has it before he turns upfield by Kenyon, who tonight seems to be the featured offensive star and the offensive threat for the Bucks. It seems like they pull a new one out every week. We've got a full sprint to the right. They're trying to flood the zone. Nice job brought in by Phil Dejakamo. Beautiful pass. Manages to stay in bounds. Stiff arms the defender down to the ground, and finally is brought down at about the 5-yard line.
I don't know how he stayed in bounds. I don't know how Dejakamo stayed in bounds. He's got tremendous balance, this Dejakamo, and just another great throw by Oriole. Here we go. He loves to throw on the run. And have you seen anybody throw better on the run than Oriole? I mean, right on the money on that tough out pattern. And there's Dejakamo, and he's really an outstanding receiver, and he's tough to bring down. How did he stay in bounds?
I wanted to see the end of that play. Good job, Oriole, throwing right on the money over the outside shoulder, just where it needed to be. It looks like it is first down and about 7. Dejakamo made it down to the Neshaminy 7. Pettine off the left-hand side. Good for about nothing. Might have picked up about a yard. And West continues to soften up this Neshaminy defense with 4 minutes left to go here in the second quarter. Pettine a little slow to get up. Of course, that's understandable. He might have carried the ball 12 times tonight with strep throat. I can't even get out of bed with strep throat.
Well, Brittingham, 34, and Bill Crompton, 33, continue to make tackle after tackle on that Neshaminy defensive spot. But Oriole, you know, what more can you say? He can throw the ball on the run better, as well as anybody we've seen.
Nice job so far leading the charge by Oriole. And they're in a strong formation to the left, and this time it's a keeper off the fake to Pettine, and Oriole keeps it inside off a great block by Polina for the touchdown. 20-0. CB West with 3:26 left to go in that half. Once you're talking about how great Oriole is, he's throwing the ball, he's throwing the ball. He does a great job recognizing the cut inside.
Absolutely, and you can score a great deal on a new VW, Porsche, or Audi from Holbert Motor Cars on Route 611 in Warrington. Since 1954, the Holbert family has been providing the kind of personalized attention that you'd expect to receive from family. Stop in today and tell them Mike Oriole's 7-yard touchdown run sent you to Holbert's.
Again, Tumulty makes good on the kick. He's 3 for 3 for the extra points, and that's the third Bucks player to make his way in the end zone. Of course, the first score was the Pettine 2-yard barreling, and then we had Phil Dejacamo's exciting touchdown, and that time it was Mike Oriole, the quarterback, faking the ball into Pettine and rolling into the end zone, which updates the Barblin Carpet 1 scoreboard. Now it reads 21-0.
Well, this West team, just the definition of juggernaut. You know, nobody does it better than Barblin Carpet 1 on our scoreboard. Family owned and operated for over 50 years. Call Barblin at 215-348-8116. or stop by and visit for your free estimate at 640 North Main Street in Doylestown. And what a class organization, first class. Barb Lynn, Carpet One, and we hope that you certainly use them and all of our outstanding sponsors that you see tonight. Keep going there and supporting these people who help bring us all these outstanding high school events. But John, you know, CB West in a dictionary, I think if you look up Juggernaut, you look at this team, I mean, just unbelievable how they continue to roll and roll against real good teams like this Redskin team.
And they are on the Redskins' home field, and they are picking them apart right now with outstanding execution. Once again, a fair catch at the Neshaminy 30-yard line, where Kamal Woodson will once again try to set up shop and do some damage against this Central Bucks West defense, which should be a well-rested unit.
Yeah, you know, that's a smart play to call for that fair catch there, because that man's going to get hit as soon as he catches the ball. And that high kick, as we look at some of the overflow crowd here at Neshaminy, that's a great kick. It's a nice high one. Of course, they're not going to, you know, he's not going to start on their own 20, but certainly they eliminate Montgomeryville Cycle Center. You know, that's a great place, John. Montgomeryville Cycle Center, as good a place as we see in our area. They have helped sponsor our game tonight and all season long, and they're having a timely end of the season sale just in time for their October 1st move to Hatfield, PA. That's Montgomeryville Cycle. Go visit them in their new digs, beautiful digs in Hatfield.
First time we've seen Woodson drop back, and he just heaves one down the sideline and tries to get his wide out to run under it, just short to number 34 down the left-hand sideline. The ball was slightly overthrown, but that's the first time we've seen Woodson rear back and let one go.
Right, that's Jamar Brittingham on that attempted reception, and we thought we'd see that earlier. You know, Brittingham's been lining up along with Vincent, and certainly you got to open things up. You got to spread that field, and Brittingham, nice throw by Woodson, just a little deep, but that's going to, you know, maybe loosen things up, and maybe Brittingham will be able to break that pattern off the next time, make it a post, you never know, and connect on a reception.
Haven't seen the Redskins run all that many plays so far in the first half. Pro set with the eye. Kamal in a 2nd and 10 takes the snap and fakes it to the eye back. This time rolls around on a bootleg to the left and tries to find an open receiver, but Polina has other things in mind, and he ropes him down, drops him for about a 3-yard loss. Great pursuit by Polina, number 44 for the Bucks.
Angelo Polina, 44, a great sack. Right down the body right now.
Guys, I'm joined by our now guest sideline reporter, Dan Morehouse of the Doylestown Patriot. Dan, the Neshaminy defense came out on fire. They looked really confident. What happened?
Bonnie, it's just typical CB West football. Neshaminy came into the game with a lot of confidence. They came in 4-0. They thought they were going to step it up and play against these guys. But the West runners, Dejakamo and Pettine, they're just wearing them down. And you can see it on the sidelines. And the Neshaminy kids are already starting to hang their heads.
What does Neshaminy have to do to get back in this game, Dan?
They've got to force some turnovers. I really think they've either have to force a fumble or maybe come up with an interception. But Oriel's so cute with his passes. He keeps the ball protected.
Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Bonnie, for that Ventresca-sponsored sideline report. Woodson drops back and unloads, going to this near sideline. Great job reeling the ball in. Number 32 for the Redskins, that's Ciani. That's a beautiful job on the sideline, and now the Redskins have to open things up with just over 2 minutes left to go.
Gary Ciani on an outstanding reception, a good throw by Kamal Woodson, and a good reception by Gary Ciani. That's going to bring up a 4th and let's call it a 4th and 3 situation, and Neshaminy has to go for it now, John.
4th down and 3. That sideline report brought to you by Ventresca's full-service men's store, serving you in 4 different ways: custom-made clothing, formal wear, rental and sales, ready-made clothing, and alterations on your new and existing clothing. Woodson takes the snap to give us to the eye back. That's Bijak. Haven't seen a lot of Vincent lately. Looks like he caught the ball up at inside his own 40-yard line at the 39. Looks like the Bucks recover it. They do a good job recognizing the ball is on the ground, and they will get one more shot with 1:34 left to go in the second quarter to pad the score.
John, that was Phil Dejakamo with that great hit. The man who's done so much on offense. That was Dejakamo who filled that hole, made sure that Neshaminy was not going to make the first down.
1st and 10 for the Bucks. As we said, thanks to Ventresca's full-service men's store, 145 West State Street in Doylestown. Custom-made suits in sizes 40 to 52 regular, all in stock. This time, Oriel dropping back. They're going to do some passing of their own. He's got Dejakamo once again, who gets himself just out of bounds, rather, right around the 20-yard line for the Bucks. 1st and 10 again.
Once again, Oriel on that rollout and finds Dejakamo, and it's uncanny. I mean, the ball is right there on the money every time from Oriel, and he hits Dejakamo right in stride.
Once again, outstanding execution. It helps when you have so many plays on the field offensively. You're able to set things up later. And let's give a ton of credit to this Bucs offensive line.
Absolutely.
No one's within 30 yards of Oriole when he's making these passes. We've got Kenyon, who looks like a decoy on the near side. Blomgren in motion. It's once again that draw play that Dejakamo scored on before. He's spinning around trying to make it happen again, and he is stopped after about 5 yards.
Well, Ted Kenyon almost looks like the lonesome end on this side.
Jack on the stop.
He's standing out there near his own sideline, one-on-one with his receiver, and certainly the old Army lonesome end, the man that sometimes they throw it to. There's Oriole barking signals. Pettine on the blocking, the handoff on the draw, the delay to Dejakamo. And look at him spin and go. I mean, just an outstanding play.
Spins around in the hands of B-Jack. This time he takes a half roll back to the right-hand side, and the play is broken up by B-Jack. The intended receiver on that one was Dustin Pettine coming out of the backfield, I believe.
Steve B-Jack.
I'm sorry, that was Matt Carey, the tight end.
Steve B-Jack with outstanding defensive coverage there. Almost picked that one off.
You don't see a lot of the half sprints by the Bucs. That time Oriole dropped back, set up, and tried to throw across the field. B-Jack in great position.
I think that's the first pass Oriole's thrown all night that really was not there and it had a chance not to be completed.
He seems like he might be a little more comfortable in the full sprints rather than the half sprints. Tight slot to the right side. The pitch is to the fullback. That's Pettine, who works behind the block of Dejakamo and is tripped up inside the 10-yard line. Looks like he made it to about the 5 or 6.
First and goal going to be coming up for the Bucs once again, but now they're going against the clock, John. There's 46 seconds remaining in the half. Clock stops, clock returns, it goes into motion now. They're down about the 8-yard line. It's first and goal.
First and goal on the 8 for the Bucs. 39 seconds. The clock restarts. Come out in a tight formation. They might very well just keep it in the hands of Pettine. And Oriole stumbles out of the backfield once again and loses about 2 yards on that misplay. 25 seconds and the clock continues to run. Timeout is called by CB West and Coach Mike Pettine. Once again, timeout brought to you by Nat's Pizza and Family Ristorante in Doylestown since 1976. Nat's served the best pizza, sandwiches, and outstanding Italian specialties to the CB West student body. Stop by, say hi to Nat, say hi to Kim, check out the gang down there, get some chow. Don't forget to pick up some of their famous hot wings. You got to have their hot wings next time you're watching the game. Brought to you by TSM Sports. Got to get the wings for the next time you're watching the game, Marty.
Absolutely, fans, and certainly wait till the end of this half. But why don't you give Nats a call and get some great pizza and wings for your second half, and tell them to send in some Vio Veneto, and you'll be enjoying that pizza and Vio Veneto by the third quarter.
Shot of the Neshaminy Redskins cheerleaders who are looking for a reason to cheer at this point. An unfortunate turnover. You cannot assist the Central Bucs West team, Marty, by giving them the ball back, especially inside your own territory when you're trying to drive to get some points up at the end of the half.
Yeah, that was fourth down. You know, they had to go for it there. They had to take their chances, and they came up a little short. The great tackle by Dejakamo really stopped them short that time.
Coach Schmidt, 3-7 last year, as we said, but coming off back-to-back 7-3 seasons. So this is a Neshaminy group and a Neshaminy sideline, and the fans that are used to being very competitive, and they would have liked nothing better than to show that off against Central Bucs West on their home field on Senior Band Appreciation Night. Oriole in a tight slot to the left, some play action in the backfield, and he can't find a receiver. Outstanding coverage, and a nice job. The ball's fumbled out of bounds, but great pursuit by number 80 for Neshaminy, who ends up chasing Oriole out of bounds. But that sack really was a product of the great coverage.
Absolutely. Great. Sherman Brittingham, you'll see Sherman Brittingham on the sack here. Never stopped his pursuit, number 80, Sherman Brittingham. Forces the ball, but it goes out of bounds. Great, like you say, great defensive coverage in the backfield by Neshaminy. And that's really what caused that sack. Brittingham doing a great job. You look in that defensive backfield, you see his brother Jamar Brittingham also doing a great job in defensive back coverage.
Single back slot to the right, open left. 3-step drop. Oriole looking for the fade to Dejakamo and just can't get it over top of number 34, the defender for the Redskins.
Well, there's a good 2 plays in a row by the Brittingham brothers. First you had Sherm on the sack, and then Jamar on outstanding one-on-one coverage. Didn't allow his man to get open, and Oriole was not able to get, impossible to get the ball in there on great coverage. Now it looks like we might have a field goal attempt coming up for the Bucs.
Bucs are 4th and goal at the 15, rather. Looks like Bob Tumulty is going to get set for the field goal attempt. Bob Tumulty recognized coming into the season as one of the better field goal kickers in the area, along with the Neshaminy kicker. The ball will be spotted by Dejakamo at about the 20. It's down, it's clean, it's up, and looks like it's going right through the uprights, Marty.
Beautiful kick. Beautiful boot.
Nice job. 7 seconds left to go. 24 for the CB West Bucks, 0 for the Neshaminy Redskins on the Barb Lynn Carpet One scoreboard. But that was a great job getting that kick through, and that's good practice for the special teams unit, and that'll build Tumulty's confidence as the season wears on.
And John, what really shows so important is that West had maintained all of its timeouts, and they were able to utilize them there to get the field goal team out there. So many times we see teams use timeouts earlier, and would not be able to get that kicker out there. It's just very important to give them a big 3 points.
It was a well-constructed drive and a little bit of a small moral victory for the Neshaminy Redskins, being able to stop the Bucks at the end of the half without punching in another touchdown to keep the score at 24-0 versus 28-0.
Sure, John, and of course Neshaminy, their defense has been on the field for quite a while in this half, and they have to be getting tired. They'll be looking forward to this halftime, get a little break, and come back out for the third quarter. Get a look at the Redskin cheerleaders, who still, of course, keep their enthusiasm, and just do a great job as always. But this game not over. Of course, you can't. Obviously, let's not paint a rosy picture for Neshaminy here. It's going to be difficult, but certainly they could get back in the game in the second half.
7 seconds. The clock is going to start right now, and the kick is once again short to the 20-yard line, and Neshaminy brought up to about the 30-yard line, and there looks like time has expired for the Neshaminy Redskins. It's 24-0. So far, it's been all Bucks, Marty, as we see the teams are exiting the field. We will rejoin you with a halftime report in just a moment. Stay tuned to TSM Sports coverage of Suburban 1 League High School football.
I tell you, I grilled a sea bass last night. Little olive oil, cilantro. Fabulous. Harry's a chef over here.
What was that thing you made the other night?
You mean a paella?
Paella. You know you can steam a fish in a dishwasher? What? Just wrap it in aluminum foil and shove it in there.
Unbelievable.
I'm not talking to you.
What are you taking, cooking lessons now, Harry?
Guys, you know me. I'm the Renaissance man.
Oh, the Renaissance.
Hi, Harry.
Hi, how you doing? Who was that?
Here we go.
My neighbor Scott is always so busy. When he's not working, he's a fireman. He does a lot of cool stuff, like putting out fires and saving people's houses. He even rescued my best friend. I call him Smokey. Isn't he a cutie? I'm glad Scott's my neighbor.
There is a path in life that one would like to travel. It's a way filled with comfort and reassurance, a way filled with happiness. And when you look around to see how wonderful it can be, there is Karistan. Beautiful Karistan. Visit Barb Lynn Carpet One today during National Karistan Month. You'll find the lowest prices of the season on Karistan carpeting and rugs. Come to Barb Lynn Carpet One and save, but hurry, it ends soon. It's time for beautiful Karistan at Barb Lynn Carpet One.
Neshaminy High School hoping you're enjoying our coverage. TSM Sports, Suburban 1 League High School football. The Barb Lynn Carpet One scoreboard tells this story, Marty. CB West 24, Neshaminy 0. And aside from that opening drive for the Bucks, where they turned it over on downs, they've had a very successful and highly efficient offense.
Absolutely. It's pretty much what we've come to expect from West. Uriel with the outstanding rollout passes. Pettine with the great running up the middle. And now they add Phil Dejakamo, who just can do it all. Inside, outside, receiving, and of course Uriel on a couple of nice keepers. And of course, what can you say, that West offensive line, just unbelievable. Once again, give Neshaminy credit. This team is hanging in there tough, but certainly they are giving up a lot of poundage at the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be a very difficult task. But certainly Neshaminy, with an exciting offensive player like Kamal Woodson and Chris Vincent, the outstanding running back, they have some good open field players. They could get back into this ball game. Let's not think it's over yet, fans, and we certainly hope that you'll stay with us for the second half. And John, they're going to get some Nats pizza and come back for that second half.
Well, right now it looks like the Bucks offense is their best defense. They're keeping the Neshaminy offense off the field, and Neshaminy's offense can't do any damage if they can't get themselves on the field. And that's really why Neshaminy has been unable to score some points. Woodson does a halfway decent job at the end when they're trying to get the ball down the field. Unfortunately, he coughed it up, and that led to the Bucks' final field goal. The scoring so far has been Pettine, Dejakamo, Oriel, and Tumulty with the field goal. They certainly are doing a nice job spreading around the scoring duties, and we're going to spread it around a little bit here. Bonnie Bleminger on the sideline. Bonnie?
Hey guys. Well, I don't know if you've seen with your view from up there, but there's two cameras that have been following CB West around tonight. All 4 games before tonight, and they will for the rest of the season, the locker rooms and practices. They're making a small independent film on them, and joining me is Mike Sealski from the Intelligencer to kind of give us a scoop on it. What's the deal with these guys?
They're a couple of independent filmmakers. One is from the Philadelphia area. His name is Tim Murray, actually the nephew of Jim Murray, former general manager of the Philadelphia Eagles, and the son of Fran Murray, who was once a co-owner of the New England Patriots. The other gentleman is named Alex Weinrich, who made his own independent film called Superfan last year, about a rabid Eagles fan. And these two gentlemen met.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah, you're not kidding. These two gentlemen met when they were at Penn University and got the idea last year, right after the state championship game, for doing a documentary on the West football team. They contacted Mike Pettine, and since the first day of training camp this year, they've been following the team around all day, every day, at practice and at games, been given total access by Coach Pettine, and they're working on this Hoop Dream style documentary on the West football team.
Kind of like the real world in CB West land.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, I talked with the two guys before the game today, and that was exactly the analogy they used, was the real world with CB West football. They are in the locker room at halftime, before and after games. They're talking to the players constantly, the coaches constantly. It's total access. I believe they said they've got over 700 hours of film logged already, and then it's just a matter of, once the season ends, going through and deciding what's going to stay and what's going to go on the cutting room floor.
And we can look for it early next year?
I believe so. I believe Tim and Alex said that they were going to start the editing process, like I said, the chipping away of the superfluous material at the end of December, and then debut the film. They hope to debut the film in Doylestown sometime next year, probably early or mid next year, and hope to get some buzz going. Excuse me.
Sounds like a pretty interesting story. Interesting sidebar, actually, to that, Mike. I was talking to Mike Pettine Jr., now the coach at North Penn. He has a film crew from ESPN following him around. He had originally gone to CB West, but they were busy with this crew. Not too often that a father and son head football coaches have to turn down camera crews.
Well, that's right. As a matter of fact, the crew that's at North Penn now approached West before they approached North Penn, but Pettine Sr. had already committed to Tim and Alex's project, so the ESPN crew went for the next best thing, I guess, going for Mike Jr. in the program in North Penn.
Nice fallback plan. I'm sure glad I'm not editing 700 hours worth of film. Back to you guys.
Outstanding information, Bonnie. Thanks a lot to Bonnie and Mike Sealski, an outstanding reporter for the Daily Intelligencer. That sideline report brought to you by Ventresca's full-service men's store, serving you in 4 different ways: custom-made clothing, formal wear, rental and sales, ready-made clothing and alterations on your new and existing clothing. Thanks a lot to Bonnie and Ventresca's full-service men's store, located at 145 West State Street in Doylestown. Custom-made suits in sizes 40 to 52 regular are in stock. So are silk and cotton casual shirts. Dozens of colors and styles are there to choose from. Don't miss the outstanding sweaters as well, along with ties, socks, belts, suspenders, anything else you can think of to complement your man's wardrobe. Marty, that will do it for the halftime analysis, and we will be happy to rejoin you in your living room for the second half, third quarter action of the TSM sports coverage of high school sports, Suburban 1 League action. CB West 24, Neshaminy 0.
Volkswagen Jetta. Sometimes everything just comes together.
Out in Hollywood, they spend $1 billion to make movies like these. Here at home, Larry Schwartz spends just $16.95 to watch them. With Suburban Cable Premium Channel packages, you can add these channels or these channels for just $16.95 a month. Or go whole hog for $29.95. Call 800-222-1813 right now and get $1 billion worth of movies for $16.95. It's great to be connected.
Thank you. Hey, nothing like a really good newspaper, but if you're still using one of these to find a job, then maybe you're not being too serious about your career. Yeah, sure, some of those national virtual job sites are fine if you're looking to relocate to, say, Fargo, North Dakota. But if you're looking for local jobs, local companies, then check out jobnet.com/radius. It's a local thing, jobnet.com/radius. It's your career. Make it happen.
Welcome back to TSM Sports coverage on Suburban Cable of Suburban 1 League High School Football. The Barberlin Carpet One scoreboard, CB West 24, and showing Neshaminy with 0 points, just about ready here for Neshaminy to receive the beginning of the third quarter kickoff. And as we mentioned at halftime, so far it's been all CB West. Thanks a lot for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed the first half and are looking forward to an exciting second half as once again Tumulty knocks in one of those high kicks. And again, it's on the ground. This time there's a scramble for it, and it looks like there's a good chance CB West might have come up with it. And they have. Referee's signal in West's favor, and it's been in West's favor all game long.
That's a tough break for the Redskins there, as now West, Neshaminy had planned all halftime to come out and start on offense the second half. And now West will have the ball, and that Neshaminy defense has to go back on the field for the start of the third quarter.
Junior Jeff Johnson of the Bucs special teams unit comes up with that loose ball. Again, that was a fair catch signal on the kickoff by number 32 for Neshaminy, Ciani, who's a wide receiver, so you'd assume he has sure hands. And instead, it ends up that the Bucs have the ball, and they're working at their own 30. And the give is to the upback out of the fullback spot. The give is from Oriel, once again, to Pichotti. That's not all the bad news for Neshaminy.
That's right, John. We have some bad news of Chris Vincent. Was injured in the first half, the great running back, number 11 for the Redskins. He's going to miss the rest of the ball game, as will Nick Farnsworth, the outstanding player, number 1 for Neshaminy. So that's a couple of tough losses for the Skins and Coach Schmidt.
Well, there we get a great look at the meat and guts of that CB West offensive line there. Mike Wilkins, the senior, 6', 255. Jeff Mitski, 6'1", 235. And also Matt Showalter, a senior at 5'9", 195, anchoring this stellar unit. And West is looking to put some more points on the board here to open up the third quarter. Polina in motion. It's a keeper this time. Fake to the fullback. Oriel around the left-hand sideline. Great block out front by Dejakamo, who's doing everything, and Oriel skates free into the end zone. What a great run by Mike Oriel. Although I guess the credit has to go to the blockers.
John, excuse me, it's coming back, John. I was thinking of Mike Oriel.
Why did I get excited?
There's a penalty on West. I think that's their...
The call, hold me. Central Bucks West.
Except for that delayed game earlier, that's their first penalty of the night.
They have executed superbly all night long, and that was a hold on the front. Someone obviously had to hold someone for that lane to be...
Holding on the offense. Repeat second down.
Except for a rash of delay of game penalties there in the first quarter. Marty, this has been a real a clean game called as we're taking a look at the replay here. Watch close and we'll see if we can pick it out.
Yeah, we saw Polina in motion. Oriel rolls to his left.
Looks clean so far.
Dejakamo getting a nice block there. And look at Oriel. He knows he's going to run right there, looking for the hole. We're not going to see the hole, but we can see what makes Oriel such a great quarterback and a great runner.
Nice tight shot by the technical crew here at TSM Sports, doing a great job bringing these shots all night long. We've got a tight formation, 2 backs in the backfield, and that's Dejakamo in motion. And it's a keeper this time. Oh, the play action fake. Oriel eludes a tackle in the backfield. He's got Dejakamo wide open. Great job coming up to get the ball. Not only does he bring it in, but has the wherewithal to back himself into the end zone. That's called that court awareness in basketball. In football, you just call it amazement. That is a great play by Phil Dejakamo.
2 great plays there, as we're going to talk about Holberts in a second, but 2 great plays by Mike Oriel and Phil Dejakamo, and score a great deal on a new VW, Porsche, or Audi from Holbert Motor Cars on Route 611 in Warrington. Since 1954, the Holbert family has been providing the kind of personalized attention that you'd expect to receive from family. Stop in today and tell them that Mike Oriel to Phil Dejakamo pass for the ages and the ESPN highlight show sent you to Holbert's.
Dejakomo's second score, and the extra point looks like it is no good, and the score it is good. The score is 31-0 in favor of CB West. Dejakomo's second touchdown, that time coming via the air, and you saw a tremendous effort there. Dejakamo was coming right up for the ball and battling the defender for it, and that is the Barbelin Carpet One scoreboard that you're looking at right there. As we mentioned, the score is 31-0. More hurting for the Redskins right now. 11:01 left on the clock. Nobody does it better than Barbelin Carpet One, family owned and operated for over 50 years. Please call 215-348-8116 or stop by and visit for your free estimate at 640 North Main Street in Doylestown. I know that a lot of people were calling Barbelin Carpet One when their basements were flooded. It was a great time, and really, I'm sure they do a great job there. And let's take a shot down at Bonnie. Bonnie on the sideline. What do you have for us?
Guys, I was just speaking with the team doctor, Dr. Richard Cattilli, about Chris Vincent. He said Chris Vincent has a sprained ankle. He's definitely out this game. Looks like he could be back for next week. He still has to check him out some more tonight. Also spoke with Kamal Woodson. He was warming up before the second half. I said, Kamal, what did Coach say in the locker room? He said, nothing big. We're not making any changes. We're just playing our football. Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Bonnie. Nice job getting that information on the sideline. Looks like a flag is thrown in the return. Nice job, though.
Keith Ennis with the outstanding kick return. Flag down, though.
Ennis weaving his way up the left-hand sideline after saying nothing up the middle, doing a beautiful job there.
Well, it's going to come back, I'm afraid.
Let's
talk about that touchdown a little bit, John. You know, just great, outstanding individual effort on two players' parts, and of course more than that, all 11, but Mike Oriel slips the attempted sack, makes a nice throw up there, and Dejakamo, like you said, he has the wherewithal. He turns around, he has the defensive back right on him, and he jumps up and makes the catch basketball style and goes into the end zone. Just a great play.
Oriel once again throwing under pressure. Again, the sideline report brought to you by Ventresca's full-service sideline men's store. They can serve you in 4 different ways: custom-made clothing, formal wear, rental and sales, ready-made clothing, and alterations on your new and existing clothing. Sideline report by Bonnie Bleminger, brought to you by Ventresca's. Great job, Bonnie, once again, getting that great information. We talked about the Vincent injury earlier. We've got single setback, slot to the right and open left, and the ball is tipped by the West linebacking unit, and it falls incomplete. Looks like Brian Callahan up front.
You know, John, we talked earlier, personal note, how it's so nice to see somebody so beautiful as Bonnie on the sidelines. In addition, even more importantly, she's just such a great sideline reporter, really coming up with great info, and it's great to be working with her. We saw Mike Sealski late in the first half, or halftime. Great writer for the intel and the record.
Nice staff downstairs. Good job all around by the TSM crew tonight. Callahan standing at 6'3", clogging up the middle a little bit, getting his mid on the ball and batting it out. Total this season, Woodson has thrown 15 times. Now, that's not tonight. That's all season long, including tonight's throws. So they were averaging about 3 a game. Looks like a botched play in the backfield, unless that was a designed draw, but he manages to get 6 positive yards out of it.
Let's mention that in the Neshaminy offensive line once again. Their starters are Mike Knapp, 53, Jason Delp, 58, Joe Mitzkis, 59, Brian Schaubhut, 60, Bill Little, 66, Nick Fezco, 67, and that's a good offensive front for Neshaminy. It's just right now it's becoming a long night for the Redskins, but look, they got to keep their heads held high, keep trying, get on that scoreboard, give them something positive to think about.
The Neshaminy offense has been on the field for very few plays so far tonight. You see Fran Golden in the defensive backfield for West. We haven't had a chance to talk much about the West defense, although that time they did an outstanding job corralling the running back up front. It looked like Crompton, the fullback.
That's a good run by Bill Crompton. I think he got the first down. I think he's going to get it.
He needed to squeeze a yard out of. That's exactly what he got. Keep him drive alive. 9:53 left to go. 31-0.
You see Mike Knapp, the center, getting up, and he, of course, with a big block on that Crompton first down run. Not too many fans have left here on the Neshaminy sideline. Just a packed house. I don't know, like we'd have to say at least 8,000 or 9,000 people in here tonight.
Packed standing room only. We've got people backed up on the bank. On the banks, not only are the bleachers filled up, but people have spilled out onto the end of the end zones, behind the end zones.
Amazing crowd.
This is Woodson back over the center, pro I in the pro I formation. Woodson drops back, loses his footing, and falls to the turf. And that's it. He's obviously frustrated with that. That's not exactly where he wanted to be the outcome there. Really, Neshaminy needs to treat every snap like it's the last one, because they have not had very many opportunities tonight.
No, they certainly, and you know, Woodson, you want to get him in that open field. Now it's really difficult with Vincent out. You know, he's a guy you want to get in the open field. But Jamar Brittingham, somebody maybe will look to see the ball come to later. You got to figure that Woodson, he looks like he has the arm. He definitely has the arm to be able to throw the ball.
His first pass tonight was an attempt to stretch out the Central Bucks West defense. He did a nice job getting the ball out there.
Forget the tight end, Joe Bernatowicz, number 88. He's a big guy, 6'4", 225.
The give is to Bijak. Bijak works his way almost up to first down yardage, and he falls about 2 yards shy, or maybe a yard shy, of the first down marker. It'll bring up a third down and short.
Nice run by Steve Bijak. It really gives Neshaminy some momentum right there. We're talking about Bernatowicz, number 88. He might see a pass a little bit later. Good blocker on that offensive line. Let's look at Bijak there. Nice hole opening up. He cuts back, gets a beautiful run out of it.
Bijak spun forward for enough for the first down. I thought he might have been short, but he converted that. This is the best drive we've seen out of Neshaminy so far. They're doing a lot of it on the ground. They are over at about their 42-yard line. The give is to the I-back. It's Bijak again, who slips forward into the maybe about 5 or 6 yards deep into the West defense.
Good blocking that time by Neshaminy's offensive front. And certainly one of the great places in the area to visit at all times is Montgomeryville Cycle Store. And certainly they're the proud sponsors of high school football. Montgomeryville Cycle Center has a great selection of cruisers, sports bikes, and ATVs. Take time to stop in today and take advantage of their end-of-the-season sale. That's Montgomeryville Cycle. You want to visit them at their outstanding new headquarters in Hatfield. Pay them a visit.
Well, 2nd and 4. Looks like the give is to Bijak again. This time he's being brought down in the backfield by Minsky, doing double duty. He's the center, also playing D-line. As we said, Marty, we haven't had a chance to talk much about that West defense, but that defensive line is formidable, and they're being tested for the first time tonight.
Absolutely, and we had a good tackle that time by Andrew Elsing also. He was in on that stop.
Front line is Bowser, Minsky, Matt Carey. Callahan's up front playing the linebacker, getting his nose in their business. And Polina also on the defensive line doing a nice job up there. They need them more than ever right now. It's 3rd down and 6. This will be a key play.
Gianni split to the near side. Yep.
Neshaminy taking the snap. Woodson having a hard time getting the ball out to the option back, Bijak, and has to eat it. Corralled in by Minsky and Callahan, and ends up losing a couple yards on that, bringing up the 4th down, and Neshaminy has no choice but to punt.
Have to punt. Now, I thought, we saw Gianni line up to the near side. I thought maybe he might go on some kind of pattern deep, but not enough time for Woodson to get the ball off.
Looked like Woodson and Bijak were trying to work the option, which looked like it had some potential early in the first half when we saw it. 6:19 left to go in the 3rd quarter, 31-0 in favor of the visiting CB West Bucks. The punt is off, and it's a nice spiraling kick. It comes down to Dejakamo at the 25-yard line of CB West. Dejakamo works his way again, breaking tackles as he's done all night long, and brings the ball up to the 45-yard line.
Every time he gets the ball, it's big yardage. There's a 19-yard punt return, and a nice punt by Rob Fryer, the punter, and Dejakamo brings it back 19 yards just like that.
Well, it's amazing. Everyone coming into the season talked about Oriole, they talked about Pettine, but Phil Dejakamo has done an unbelievable job, and you know what? They're without their highest production offensive player from last week. Dave Camburn hasn't been in the game at all. He's not playing tonight, and yet the offense is firing on all cylinders. We've got a trips right, open left, single setback is Dustin Pettine. Working against a 6-man front, 2 linebackers. The give is to Pettine up the middle, and he manages to squirrel his way up to the 50-yard line right at midfield there, bringing up a 2nd and 5.
Nice tackle by 50 Cruzin, as well as 20 Matt Cariola. But, every time Pettine gets the ball, it's 4 or 5 yards at least.
Well, that line is working against maybe 8 guys up front there. The surge out of that line is unbelievable. They're doing an outstanding job as they have, and this unit has put together great time-consuming drives.
You see Wilkins goes out, Nick Daly comes in on the offensive front for the Bucks.
They've been rotating all game long. This time, Oriole comes out in a slot right and gives the ball, tries to get it to Dejakamo. That time he had to fire it a little bit high to avert the outstretched arm of number 24 for the Neshaminy Redskins.
Steve Bijak with good defensive coverage there.
5 minutes and 23 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter. 31-0 so far. As we said, West controlling on top. This brings up a 3rd down and 5 for the Bucks. Neshaminy, highly successful team, has their hands full tonight, certainly.
See Joe Bernatowicz in there at defensive front for Neshaminy, tough player.
Dejakamo shifts to the eye, then motions out to the right side to the strength of the formation. Oriole with a half sprint to the right-hand side, gives it up and gets it, looks like, to Matt Carey, the rarely used tight end, who is known mostly for his blocking and toughness, but has managed to bring a couple balls in this season and show that he's not just an extra lineman.
Let's look at the replay. A nice conceived play. Oriole with a little sprint right, looks back to the left side and finds Carey, passes perfectly in his gut, and then Carey turns around and goes for an extra 5-6 yards on the carry. Good tackle that time by 34, Jamar Brittingham.
Half sprint. Carey did a great job. You can see that on the replay of making sure the ball was secure. He brought it into his left hand, so that's the correct hand you want to have in the outside hand. Picciotti this time breaking tackles right and left. Managed to skip his way all the way up inside the Neshaminy 25 down to about the 22-yard line. Great job by Dustin Picciotti. Nice nimble footing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was just going to talk about, John. It's really amazing. We'll take a look. Your Picciotti, a powerful man, but also with those quick, nimble feet, is able to slip out of those tackles, and that's amazing.
Look at all those Redskins in his wake. Number 33 from Neshaminy, Crompton, who was their middle linebacker at 235, could not bring him down by himself. Of course, Picciotti has a little head of steam going in his favor, but Crompton needs a little bit of help. Dejakamo in motion to the strength of the formation. The give is once again to Picciotti. He's got a little bit of room. Again, he likes to get up over top a little bit, reminiscent of Billy Kilkenny of a couple years back, and leaps forward for about 5 or 6 yards, bringing up about second, and actually he got closer to 8 yards.
You know what Picciotti reminds me of, and this is, of course, a lot of our younger fans. Huh?
Marion Motley.
No, he actually is not. I don't. He's sort of like Motley, but he's reminding me more and more of like Calvin Hill when Hill played for Yale and the Dallas Cowboys. A more powerful version, but Hill was able to pick those holes and move his feet like that. Just really nimble footing.
Flank right strong. Oriole takes the snap once again. The give is to Picciotti off the right-hand side. He barrels forward for about 5 or 6 more yards, and the West drive continues, and they are chewing up massive quantities of the clock here in the third quarter, as they have done all game long. 3:36 left to go in the third.
Of course, we'll take a look at the replay on Picciotti, and a lot of our fans out there will know Calvin Hill better as the father of Grant Hill of the Pistons, but we remember
now you're ringing a bell, Marty.
Great running back for the Cowboys and Yale University, and that's who Picciotti reminds me of.
You got to put it in context for the kids. Grant Hill, I know. Calvin Hill, that's making me work a little too hard as timeout on the field is called by the Bucks, and that is a timeout that is sponsored by Nat's Pizza and Family Ristorante. Since 1976, Nat's served the best pizza, the best sandwiches, all kinds of Italian specialties to the CB West student body and their families. Please stop by. Check in with Nat, check in with Tim, check out the gang, get some chow. Don't forget to pick up the hot wings, and don't forget to try the Italian ices. I mean, they've got the whole complement of food for you there, Marty. Marty, you would not go out of there unsatisfied.
John,
that's my own personal guarantee.
We're going to be visiting there after the bowl game tonight. Drive out to Doylestown. Check out Nat's. We hope you fans will check them out. You can have your pizza by the fourth quarter tonight. And like you say hi to Nat, Tim, the whole gang out there. Have yourself a great pizza and a Vio Veneto water Italian ice to finish things up.
Thanks a lot to Nats. 3:29 left to go third quarter. Coach Pettine obviously wants to take care of the offensive possession and not come away without any points. Thus the timeout. We see a very calm CB West unit. They don't look like they're very urgent for a touchdown score. They've been here before. It's 31-0. They're knocking at the door. Single setback is Picciotti. Motion from the wingback. That's Dejakamo coming across to the near side, and Picciotti tries to step up in the middle behind the guard and picks up about 2 yards. Brings up second down and goal. Ball sitting on the Neshaminy 6-yard line.
You know, fans at home, you know, you've heard some great sponsors we have tonight. We've got Ventresca's and Barb Lynn and Nats and Montgomeryville Cycle, and we're going to tell you after this play how you can advertise your business on the next TSM sporting event.
Single back, Picciotti, motion from Dejakamo. Spin out by Oriole to Picciotti off the right-hand side. Looks like he might have enough to get into the end zone. I have seen the signal. It is a score by Dustin Picciotti. It is another one for Dustin. That's his second of the game, and that will increase the Central Bucks West lead to 37-0.
Well, just like Dustin Picciotti, you can score a great deal on a new VW, Porsche, or Audi from from Holbert Motor Cars on Route 611 in Warrington. While the extra point attempt is attempted here, you'll know that since 1954, the Holbert family has been providing the kind of personalized attention that you'd expect to receive from family. Stop in today as the kick is good by Tumulty and tell them that Dustin Piccotti's banging touchdown run sent you out to Holbert's Motor Cars.
Well, it looks like there was a flag on the play, but I believe it would have
Personal
to be
foul, roughing the kicker. Here, we'll assess it on the kickoff.
penalty against Neshaminy. The kick is good. Dejakamo does a nice job of getting the snap down. The guy's holding snaps. He's making blocks. He's picking the balls out of the air, and he's doing a great job running and bouncing off tacklers.
Touchdown here.
Here's another shot of the Picciotti touchdown run.
Oriel barking signals. Dejakamo in motion. The flip to Picciotti.
Once again, that fullback pitch, they're attacking the corner there of Neshaminy, and then once his 240 pounds gets set in motion, the momentum kind of carries him forward a little bit there. The Neshaminy D-backs can't reel him in. And let's check out Bonnie Blemiger on the sideline with the sideline report brought to you by Ventresca's full-service clothing store. Bonnie?
John and Marty, aside from getting ready for the big game this week, another big story amongst the Neshaminy students is the flood damage caused last week when the major Hurricane Floyd rains took out about 15 students' homes. They had major damage to their homes. We have joining me Liz Marut and Beth Thornton. They're with the Interactive Community Service Club. Guys, tell me what you're doing out here for the flood victims today.
Well, 15 people in our school lost their homes due to the flood of Hurricane Floyd. So we're basically just collecting money for them to help them out.
How much money have you raised so far, Beth?
$550. And we basically just stood at the front of Neshaminy and we just asked people if they would donate. And that's about it.
Well, girls, that's an incredible club that you have, and I'm sure the people are really going to appreciate it. You did a really good job.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, girls. Back to you guys.
It's a great story, Bonnie. Thanks again to Ventresca's full-service men's clothing store. They can serve you in 4 different ways.
Face mask.
Custom-made clothing.
On the defense. First down. 15-yard penalty, spot of the foul.
15-yard penalty against the Bucks. And that will come back a little bit as that sideline report brought to you by Ventresca's full-service men's store. They've got the custom-made clothing, the formal wear rental and sales, ready-made clothing and alterations on your new and existing clothing. Thanks a lot to Bonnie for the sideline report and to Ventresca's. They can make you look great for the upcoming black tie event. Ventresca's carries all their tuxedos right on site in their own warehouse. That means you can immediately exchange it if you have any problems in the fitting. You know how hairy that can be if you've got a problem with your tux. You don't have time to switch it out. 38-0. The Bucks on top. Woodson comes back out of the slot, unloads a pass down the sideline, overthrown, no pass interference on the call.
John, I want to mention certainly to our fans at home, there is a rule, of course, the third year of this rule in high school football, that when one team has a 35-point lead on the other team, the clock will continue to run even on an incomplete pass. Just as that, the clock continues to run during the game, and that's what's going to happen now, is the clock will continue to run as West has a 38-point lead. This is the first time in the 3 years of this rule that Neshaminy has found itself on the short end of a 35-point score. And, you know, we want to talk again, we'll do that after this play, John, about our sponsorships.
Yeah, because I know a lot of people are excited about sponsoring this outstanding coverage you have of your local favorite high school athletes and your neighbors as well. Woodson gives the ball to Bizak. Again, he's carrying the ball, Bijak, because Chris Vincent is out with an injury and won't be returning tonight.
Okay, fans, now if you want to join our sponsorship crew, and they're growing every week. I mean, we have new sponsors this week that weren't even with us last week. As we look at the replay, the fine run by Bijak. If you would like to advertise your business on the Tri-State Media Network, you want to contact Radius Communications. That number is 215-340-5001. That's 215-340-5001. Your best connection to cable television. And then next week, you'll be one of our outstanding sponsors, bringing new clients and making those old ones happy at your location, your business.
Woodson to give is to the I-back. Shamanic. I'm sorry, that was Bijak once again on the carry. We're going to have to see time expire here for the third quarter. The Barblin Carpet One scoreboard shows 38-0. CD West on the top of the home team, the Neshaminy Redskins. We will be back to begin the start of the fourth quarter in a moment. Stay tuned.
Factory outlet stores, where you'll find over 40 great outlet stores.
The It's Now Open Net Carrier. You can shop on the net. You can mail on the net. You can do research on the net, Net Carrier. You can invest on the net. You can even meet exciting new people on the net, like me, Net Carrier. But you have to get on the net to do it, which means you need Net Carrier. At Net Carrier, they give you unlimited internet access for as little as $13.95 a month, plus free software, a free mousepad, and a free 30-day trial. It's fast, it's fun, it's affordable. It's Net Carrier. And it will make all your friends jealous, except me. Get Net Carrier by calling toll-free 1-877-ALL-SPEED to get free software, a free mousepad, and a free 30-day trial. Call toll-free 1-877-ALL-SPEED.
1 out of every 4 babies is not fully immunized. Your child could get a deadly disease. Get all your baby's shots before age 2. You gave them life. Protect it.
All kids have trouble staying within the lines. With some, it could be a sign of a learning disability. Call now to help your child. There's no reason to be held back.
TSM Sports coverage is proud to present this high school Suburban 1 League action. CB West right now on top of Neshaminy 38-0. And the Redskins are going to have to punt out of their own territory. The ball is marked at the 30-yard line at the beginning here of the fourth quarter. Neshaminy right now in a damage control mode, and you'll probably see some fresh jerseys in on the behalf of West, although there's some injuries on both sides, so I'm not sure how deep the personnel is going to be here as we roll into the fourth quarter. Kenyon lets the punt go, and it's going to roll down to the 20, which is as good of an offensive play as Neshaminy's had so far during the game, Marty.
Well, that's a 50-yard boot from Rob Fryer there. He's done a good job punting all night long, number 99 for the Redskins. Be interesting to see if Oriel will go all the way at quarterback tonight, John.
Bucks are probably going to try to milk the clock as much as they can, and I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple other personnel taking some snaps to keep some of their main cogs out of harm's way. Marty had mentioned how to become a sponsor. We've got a great slate of games coming up after the showing of this one. Now, we show all of our games on Saturdays at 7 p.m. on Channel 24 and most of the outlets. And again, we replay them Sunday at 10 a.m. and again Sunday at 6 p.m. So we do that every week, so you know where to find us. Oriel takes the snap. He's still in the game. They give us to Ryan Blomgren, who gets submarined, and he has a pickup of about 7 yards. But I wanted to mention some of the upcoming games. We've got some college coverage. Wilkes against Del Val coming up next week. The following week, Satterton at Penn Ridge. Then we've got the East-West game, which will be played on Saturday the 16th.
Take a look here at Blomgren's run, John.
Coach Pettine trying to rotate some of the stable of running backs, giving Blomgren a shot back there in the eye. Blomgren does a nice job of recognizing where the seam is and taking advantage of it, and does a nice job. He's a tough player. Nice, tough run. West coming out in a tight formation. Second and short, about 4 yards to go. Picciotti's going to keep it. They're going to try to get that first down. Again, there's that same play right there. Looks like he's got first down yardage. 10:19 as the clock will run here during the fourth quarter. Marty had mentioned that. We've also got Satterton at Penn Ridge, and like I said, East against West. McDevitt at Wood, a little PCL action. Then we've got West again at Pennsbury, followed by the North Penn at CB West game, Lebanon Valley at Del Val, and finally the Thanksgiving Classic, Quakertown at Penn Ridge. So all your hometown favorite teams are going to be coming up on TSM Sports. So once again, catch us Saturdays at 7. We replay it Sunday at 10 in the morning, and again 6 o'clock at night.
John, good tackle that time by Cale Irons, number 74, senior for Neshaminy.
The Redskins are all packed up front, and Blomgren puts a hurting on the cornerback over the left side on a first down carry, and looks like he picks up about 3 yards.
Some good games, like you say, John, coming up. We have Del Val and Wilkes at the college level, and we want to see, of course, that great Penn Ridge team. The team was a playoff team a year ago and back again, undefeated, going into tonight. And later on, like you said, McDevitt and Wood, that's going to be a good one. McDevitt sprung that big upset on LaSalle a couple weeks back, and they're playing good ball, as is Wood.
A lot of great teams coming up, a lot of great sports action of the football variety on TSM Sports on Suburban Cable. Oriole looks like he gave to the Pettine, the fullback. He kind of ducks under and does a side swipe, manages to manufacture about 5 or 6 more yards on the play to the near side.
You know, I'd love to see a stat on the percentage of runs the Pettine gets that are wind up at first down. Because we look at Pettine here,
great chance to look
by Oriole.
Great chance to check out the execution by the Bucks.
But once again, Pettine smells the first down sticks and gets a first down. And I would love to see, he has a very high percentage of his runs wind up in first down situations.
The Bucks so far have subscribed to the notion of, we got our guys, you got yours. We think we're going to be able to push them out of the way, and they've done that all night long against Neshaminy. 2 formerly 4-0 unbeaten teams. The ball is loose in the backfield, and I think Neshaminy might have come up with it. The pitch was intended for Ryan Blomgren over the left-hand side, and it was not a successful exchange, and the ball was recovered actually, recovered by West. Blomgren looked like he was able to get his hands on it.
Well, that's as close as Neshaminy's come to a turnover tonight. And like you say, Blomgren comes up. We're going to take a look at it. And on the pitch, note the connection was not there. Blomgren makes a fine recovery, though. Number 4, Ryan Blomgren.
Quick hands for Blomgren in order to take that ball back.
But this West team just doesn't beat itself. I mean, even when the ball is on the ground, they wind up recovering it. We see it week after week. This team very rarely commits a turnover. They don't commit very many penalties. Just amazing.
Second down and long. It's been a clean game on both sides so far. 7:42 left to go here in the game. We're fourth quarter action. Half sprint out by Oriole. The ball is hit by Dejakamo, intercepted by the Redskins' number 80, who runs in reverse, but actually is knocked down at the Neshaminy 47-yard line. Nice job there with a little
interception.
Sherm Brittingham with the interception, number 80. That's a beautiful play by Brittingham. He's played a great game all night long, and he's rewarded with an interception there. Just as we were talking about no turnovers, there it happened.
The Redskins will take over.
There's the replay. Let's look at Sherm there. Off of the receiver's attempt, and Brittingham, Johnny on the spot, brings it in nicely.
Textbook tip drill. D-backs go through that drill quite often. It looks like we have a timeout on the field taken by CB West with 7 minutes and 5 seconds left to go here in the game.
Get a look at backup Roach. He's number 15. He's a wide receiver. And John, you know what? I think we're in for a good Nat's Pizza right now. You know, this timeout is brought to you by Nat's Pizza and Family Ristorante in Doylestown. Since 1976, Nat's has served the best pizza, the best sandwiches, and those great Italian specialties to the CB West student body and the entire Doylestown area. Stop by and say hi to Nat, Tim, and you'll probably see John and myself in there and the whole gang today. Don't forget to pick up some of those delicious, famous Nat's hot wings for the next time you're watching the game and even the end of tonight's game. And then don't forget, John, to try the refreshing Vio Veneto Italian ices.
It's hard not to stuff your face when you're in there, Marty. They make it real
me
difficult
hungry just thinking about it
smells
right
great.
now.
You just walk within a block of it. You start to smell the aroma. Neshaminy finally gets something on the film that they can look at on Monday that looks semi-decent. They start again with the ball, actually inside West territory at the West 45. The give is to the running back from Woodson. That's Ennis, who's seen some action.
Keith Ennis. He's a 5'8", 150-pound sophomore.
Good chance for Coach Schmidt to get some seasoning for some of the younger guys at this point with a 38-0 deficit.
Take a look here at the run by Keith Ennis. And that's, of course, the hard hit. That's our Holbert's hard hit of the quarter. This big hit by the West defense is brought to you by the Body Shop at Holbert Motor Cars on Route 611 in Warrington. From a minor ding to major bodywork, the Body Shop at Holbert's can get any make or model back in the lineup fast, even one hit by that CB West defense.
That time the hit was made by James West, the sophomore for CB West, number 26, coming up out of the backfield to stop Ennis. Other big hits, Marty, is the whole TSM Sports crew. We have got a crack staff here directing tonight. Tom Brunt. He's the Hall of Fame director.
Absolutely.
Audio handled by Jim Nichols. You're all familiar with Jim Nichols. Electronic graphics, Kim Newell. Cameras operated by Tim Walton, Kevin McGorry, and Terry Colbert. And the shots tonight have been superb. We're having a great time. Great technical work by the guys in the van. Thanks again to them for making it enjoyable to bring in your living room. Problem with the exchange, this time for Neshaminy, the ball was still loose, and it looked like it was eventually picked up again by Woodson, the quarterback.
Woodson was Johnny on the spot, picked the fumble up there. Number 32 was in there for West on defense. That's Adam Scholl, a junior. Take a look at the replay here. The exchange not really does not get off clean. Ball's lying there on the ground.
How close does Scholl get to it? Looks like he had it. That guy just missed a star on his helmet.
Well,
he's a little bit disappointed. They're going to put it on his helmet, and then they're going to rip it right off because he missed it.
Adam Scholl's going to have plenty of time for those stars. He's only a junior, 5'11", 225, up-and-coming young defensive player.
Notice they still have Jeff Mitski in there on defense, as is Andrew Elsing. A couple of the starters do remain. Number 88 is in there for West at this point. That is Dennis Reiling, a junior, 6'3", 225, playing D tackle. This is a slot right strong. Woodson comes out, looks like a sideline and up penalty. He does not have time to do it. We just mentioned his name. That looked like Adam Scholl, who brought down the quarterback, Woodson.
Absolutely. Also in on the tackle was Andrew Elsing, as was Dennis Rilling. The three of them were in on that stop together.
Three guys who we just mentioned do a nice job corralling Woodson. And fourth down here, looks like Neshaminy is going to punt, but I'm sorry, it was turnovers.
Now West, West has called a timeout here. That's the only way you can really stop the clock. Our PI man, our outstanding spotter, Joe King, has told us that you can stop the clock on a timeout. Of course, a touchdown will stop the clock.
Joe King, a noted Lower Bucks personality with sports in the area, and once again brought to you by Nat's Pizza, this particular timeout. Marty, you and I have talked about Nat's tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I love the Nat's Pizza. I love the sandwiches. I love the smell of the sandwiches. I love the grease on the side. I love the whole. I love the special. I mean, you go in there and you just go. You eat you're eating the wings.
The whole experience.
What are you finishing off?
I mean, great people in there, great times, great food, and you want to finish it up with some hot wings and
no,
Vio
you're going to finish with Italian ice. That's what you're going to finish.
Oh, and also the Vio Veneto Italian ice, because that's perfect after the hot wings, you know.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Of course, that's they've been around since 1976. They've served the best pizza. That's 23 years. That's a long time in business. Pizza, great sandwiches, great Italian specialties. And of course, we got to look there at Neshaminy's number 99, their outstanding punter. And I want to mention that's Rob Pryor. And Rob, I know, is a big fan of Nats. When he's up in the Doylestown area, he checks in for Nats Pizza Radio.
Substitutions wholesale in for CB West. Working out of the quarterback spot is Joseph Dejakamo, who is the brother, most likely, of Phil Dejakamo. And the Barblin Carpet One scoreboard at this point shows the game 38 for West, 0 for Neshaminy. And nobody does it better than Barblin Carpet One. Family owned and operated for over 50 years. Call 348-8116 or just stop by and visit for your free estimate at 640 North Main Street, located in the heart of Doylestown. The run to the near side, that is the quarterback, Dejakamo.
That's Joe Dejakamo, Joseph Dejakamo, a sophomore, 6'1", 170.
Looked like he had a little finger pointing action going on there. The play before that, the carry was by number 35. That was Bob Warden, the junior. We'll take a look again at Dejakamo's carry here, trying to imitate his brother. In hot pursuit is number 72, who looks like he's moving pretty good for a big man. That's Silvestri, who's a junior at 200 pounds for Neshaminy. He looks a little bit bigger than that to me.
And John Nouth, number 7, he's doing a good job on defense from his linebacker spot for the Redskins.
3:20 left to go in the fourth quarter. 38-0 CB West. The pitch to the I-back. That's number 26 for the Bucks. Carries the ball for a couple yards. That'll bring up fourth down at about 3.
Joel Coe on the carry. He's a senior, 6'1", 170.
Joel Coe getting a shot there. He's a, that's number 26, James West, the sophomore running back, 5'8", 168.
That's my mistake. I thought that was Coe, number 25.
New lineman in there for the Bucks, number 79. That's Mike Ward. He is a junior at 6'1", 255. Trying to get some seasoning in there. Coach Carey trying to work the lineman in there. Great staff for Central Bucks West. The staff has been there. A lot of the staff has been there for a long time. Looks like number 35 is going to have a couple exciting runs in his career. That's Bob Warden again, the junior. But the West coaching staff is a laundry list of outstanding coaches.
Yeah, we want to mention that Bob Gordon, you know, we'll mention that coaching staff with Pettine and Carey and Bill Tesno and Scott Rosen and Randy Cuthbert, Chris Cleland, Joe Schmidt, Brian Rush, Joe Holman, John Radisey, Steve Rose, Mike Stafford, Frank Naylor. It's like an NFL staff. I want to mention that Bob Warden is another one of these big CB West runners. Take a look here at 89. That's Kyle Myers. Fumble.
Dejakamo picks it back up. I don't know how it shot back almost to him, but that's the way things have bounced for West all night long, right back into the safe hands of the quarterback.
Just wanted to say, John, that Warden, another one of these big runners. He's 6 foot 195. In West, they have a stable full of these guys that are big, you know, 190, 195 and up, and that's big for a running back. Myers only a sophomore. He's already 6 foot 165. You know, he'll get bigger. He's listed actually as a reserve quarterback. So, I mean, they have so many great players on this team.
Number 89 for West, Kyle Myers, checks out of the game. He's a sophomore at 6 foot, 165 pounds, number 89.
See Jay Sand and Mike Ward in the game on the offensive line for the Bucks.
Dejakamo gives to the upback, number 32, Adam Scholl. Again, he gets knocked back by the Neshaminy defense. Marty, the great thing about this is these are the guys in practice who get killed by the starters. I mean, you think Neshaminy's got it tough playing West once. How'd you like to be a practice player on the roster? These guys are paying their dues day in and out, getting the, you know what, knocked into them and out of them all week long, every week, all season long, and finally, this is what they're on the roster for, Marty.
That's right.
A coach grabs them, shakes them around a little bit, says, are you ready to get in there, and chucks them in the game, and this is why they're there. I mean, this is a great thrill. They will never forget this.
Well, Gary Lucas, 53, and Gene Rich, 55, also in on the Bucks offensive line now.
These kids are pumped. This is Dejakamo on the keeper. He's got a little bit of running room. He tries to elude the tackler from Neshaminy, number 22, and does a decent job.
Josh Sands also in the game now on that Bucks offensive line. He wears number 78. A lot of these young fellas, like you say, they're getting their chance to shine now. And, of course, you can also get your chance to shine out at Montgomeryville Cycle Center. You know, Montgomeryville Cycle Center is your local sponsor of this portion of our outstanding football game. Remember, Montgomeryville Cycle is moving real soon, in fact, this weekend, to their new location in Hatfield, PA. So pay them a visit as the ball game ends. Pay Montgomeryville Cycle Center a visit out in Hatfield.
Marty, we've had quite a game, 38-0. I know the Bucks County Courier-Times prediction for tonight's game was 34-0. So the writers in the hometown here for Neshaminy seemed like they knew what they were talking about. 38-0. We had a list of scoring from CB West. It wasn't the same guy each time, and we will recap the scoring and tonight's action when we return. TSM Sports coverage of Suburban One League High School football. We'll be right back with a post-game recap.
But that was a quick second hand.
There is a path in life that one would like to travel. It's a way filled with comfort and reassurance, a way filled with happiness. And when you look around to see how wonderful it can be, there is Karastan. Beautiful Karastan. Visit Barb Lynn Carpet One today during National Karastan Month. You'll find the lowest prices of the season on Karastan carpeting and rugs. Come to Barb Lynn Carpet One and save, but hurry, it ends soon. It's time for beautiful Karastan at Barb Lynn Carpet One.
The internet is now open. Net carrier. You can shop on the net. You can mail on the net. You can do research on the net. Net carrier. You can invest on the net. You can even meet exciting new people on the net. Like me, net carrier. But you have to get on the net to do it. Which means you need net carrier. At Net Carrier, they give you unlimited internet access for as little as $13.95 a month, plus free software, a free mousepad, and a free 30-day trial. It's fast, it's fun, it's affordable. It's Net Carrier. And it will make all your friends jealous, except me. Get Net Carrier by calling toll-free 1-877-ALL-SPEED to get free software, a free mousepad, and a free 30-day trial. Call toll-free 1-877-ALL-SPEED.
Well, both teams here at Harry Frank Stadium came into the game undefeated. One is leaving defeated. That is Neshaminy here at Harry Frank Stadium. The home team Redskins could not overcome the 34-game winning streak for the Bucks. It now stands at 35, and Neshaminy certainly does not have it any easier. Next week, they're going to travel to North Penn.
Well, that's a tough battle for them, North Penn. But, you know, I think Neshaminy, even though they're on the short end of a 38-0 Barb Lynn scoreboard, we're going to go right down to Bonnie right now for a great post-game interview.
Hi, guys. Well, I'm joined with, looks like the star of the game, Phil Dejakamo. Good job out there tonight.
Thank you, thank you.
Quarterback last week, all over the field tonight. You made a nice little circus catch down there earlier in the game.
Oh yeah, I was just wherever I'm play, as long as I play, I'm happy. I don't care if it's a quarterback or a running back. I just want to be on the field and help the team out.
Reading different articles this week, we saw Neshaminy was there was a couple comments in the paper. Did it make your way to your locker room? And if so, what did you guys have to say about that? And did it fire you up at all?
Oh yeah. When teams trash talk, you know, we look forward to that. That's just something else to get us pumped up. And they're talking about how they're going to come out and play skin football and beat us. But if we come out and play our game, we're going to be pretty hard to beat. So that really fired us up.
This might sound silly, but win after win, you're 34, 35 now. 35 wins in a row. Does it ever get old?
Oh no. As long as we don't lose, I'll be happy because I don't want to be at practice that next week.
What are you doing after the game?
Going home and sleeping.
Good night. Good job. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Bonnie.
Thanks a lot, Bonnie. Brought to you by Ventresca's. I want to thank again Ventresca's. They're helping you out with all your menswear needs. Sounds like Bonnie was trying to catch a date with Phil Dejakamo there at the end, asking him what he's doing later on. But Phil Dejakamo practicing that modesty that Bonnie practicing all that modesty that she is, I'm sorry, the Bucks practicing that modesty on a 35-game win streak. They're acting like nothing's new. I mean, they came in here without Camburn. Bears banged up, didn't play at all. And then Oriel and Pettine both played hurt, and yet this team still managed 38 points. And let's take the cameras down to the field where Bonnie has the victorious coach Pettine. Bonnie?
How's it feeling?
What? What are you talking about? 34.
Wins?
I'm not counting. I'm just, you know, we're into this year. The past is the past. I'm very proud of our club tonight. I mean, this was a game where we finally started to play football like I thought we could against an undefeated team. We had a lot of things go wrong this past week with illness and injuries. Dejakamo concussion last week, didn't hardly practice, came out and played a great game. Our quarterback, bad back, struggled early in the week, had a throat infection, couldn't even, you know, give the cadence. He had no voice. Dustin Pettine, strep throat, missed every day until today, came in and really gutted it out. And, you know, I think John Bear was hurt. He played tonight. And, you know, championship teams have to face adversity and overcome it. Anytime you're playing in a great league, which this is, and you're going to play a fine team like Neshaminy. So this was a real test for us, and our kids did real well.
To have all these problems, you certainly masked it well. What are you doing that's keeping these guys together?
Well, I think when you have problems and your team comes together, our guys knew that we're playing a real good team with a good tradition. We have some things going wrong. They just came together. The intensity this week in practice was a couple levels above anything I've seen this year. The defense, Coach Carey, the coordinator, and defensive coaches, I mean, you win with defense. The defense was super tonight as far as I'm concerned. And offensively, when we can get the ball enough, we got to... how about Dejakamo? The guy I forgot to mention was Dave Camburn, couldn't play. I mean, he was the star of the game last week. We didn't have him. He pulled his groin in the middle of the week. So basically, Dejakamo filled in at that position and did a fantastic job. So, you know, that's what a team's all about. You know, everybody coming together. When somebody goes down, somebody else steps in and comes through.
The ultimate champion. Thanks, Coach Pettine.
Well, thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Bonnie. Once again with the Ventresca sideline, or actually post-game report in that situation. Always a great interview is Coach Pettine. He's the consummate football coach. I think that's win about number 312. Marty, he's given credit to the players. He's given credit to his coaching staff. He's given credit to all the kids, and he takes none of it for himself. And here's a guy who you will never find a high school coach who can coach at the level of Coach Pettine. I mean, he's a one-of-a-kind guy, and credit goes everywhere else. He didn't even think of himself.
Well, it's just amazing. You know, first we're going to talk about Neshaminy. You know, they play North Penn next week, and our Barb Lynn scoreboard shows the final tonight, West 38, Redskins nothing. Neshaminy, you know, they're on short end of a 38-point score. Of course, they're disappointed and I'm sure they're a little bit upset right now, but I think they're going to take something out of this game tonight. It was a big game for them, and they had to learn how to play in big game circumstances, and they'll take that into the North Penn game next week, I'm sure. On the other side, West, all they do is play big games because everybody is so up for them. This was a big game for them because it was against an undefeated team coming in. And once again, West, you know, it's just amazing. I think that this 3-4 year run, of course, the run is now 20, 25 years, but this run right now, this winning streak, is certainly an amazing feat. 35 wins in a row, and not too many of them have been close, and they're playing in such a great league, but every week, tough games. Sooner or later, you know they're going to have a tough game this year, and just an amazing streak. Just a great football team. What more can you say?
Yeah, they put together an unbelievable game plan. Everything worked. They ran. They came back with a play action, and at that point, Neshaminy didn't know whether they were coming or going. They didn't know whether to defend the pass or stack the line, and it resulted in 38 points by West against a tough Neshaminy team who had knocked off a very difficult Council Rock team just 2 weeks ago by a score of 14-12. This was considered one of the better defenses in the conference. So West makes quick work of them with a 38-0 win. West moves to 5-0 right now. Neshaminy dropping to 4-1, but certainly nothing to hang their heads on. They were without the services of their top running back, Chris Vincent, as well as their leading tackler on defense, Farnsworth.
Yeah,
so,
Vincent missed most of the game tonight, and certainly you see a big crowd filing out of here. And like you say, I think the Redskins are going to learn from this, and they'll get better and better. This is a good ball club. On the other side, you know, West, if you think if they were to go all the way to a state championship game again, they're only 1/3 of the way through their season. Remember the last couple of years they played 15 games.
Right.
Now they're at the 5-game mark. It's still a long way away, of course.
Super long way away.
Long way away.
They're building a lot of depth though, Marty. Each week, week after week, it's new names coming up. It's new outstanding performances. Coach Pettine referenced it there. Camburn had 280+ total offensive yards last week. This week, Dejakamo steps up. He's banged up. He had a concussion last week. Coach Pettine went into the details on that. I mean, this is a West team where week after week, someone is able to come up, and that for whatever reason, they're able to do that, and that really seems to separate West from another team where Chris Vincent goes down, and yet they aren't able to replace him with the equivalent of another Chris Vincent.
John, I'd like to thank our great crew tonight. Our director was Tom Brunt. The audios were taken care of by the outstanding Jim Nichols. The lovely Kim Newell handled our electronics graphics, and our great camera shots, and they were great tonight, are handled by Tim Walton, Kevin McGorry, and Terry Colbert. Great job, guys and gals.
Yeah, I'd like to thank my partner, Marty Katz, as well as Bonnie Bleminger on the sideline, and the rest of the TSM Sports crew. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight for this TSM Sports coverage on Suburban Cable. We hope that you will join us for the upcoming games that are on our schedule, as we had mentioned earlier. Thanks a lot for joining us, and we'll see you next time.